happening is, let me put my headphones on because see, hold on. What we have is we got feedback. What's happening is, let me put my headphones on because see, hold on.
Yeah, I hear it.
We got feedback. BB, thank you for your help. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Can
all
you still
better.
hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, or before I keep talking, a lot of people I saw in
And
chat
can
were
they
saying
hear
I'm a
them?
minor. Oh, can people hear me? Need to make sure they can hear me.
I just want to make sure. They say, "Yay, we can hear you."
Okay.
Okay, so now,
Okay, good.
just realize that there's a delay. Okay, so it's like, see how we're kind of like overlapping. So give it when you're done talking. I'm gonna get like stop talking for like 5 seconds so I know you're done.
Okay, understood. All right, well, the first thing I'll say is that a lot of people earlier were saying I'm a minor, I'm 15. I'm not 15, 20 years old. So let's get that out of the way. Not a minor. Just need to make that clear.
Okay, and they're just trying. You see, they're just haters trying to get me. They're trying to get me in trouble.
Oh, well, here I am saying I'm not 15. I showed my ID earlier. I blurred out the stuff that is private, but I showed my birthday, so they should know I'm 20.
Okay, you didn't dox
So,
yourself or anything.
no, did not do that.
Okay, thank you for doing that. You didn't have to do that because you know what?
It was for that.
It-
What?
yeah, it's like whatever. Okay, thanks for doing that. Oh, showing your ID, it just sounded like a big hassle.
Oh, no, I put a piece of paper over the other stuff. I only showed the birthday. Okay, so I guess we'll do the interview.
Okay.
Let me
Yeah,
say,
so-
I've
yeah.
been watching for a long time
Well,
now.
hi,
For like,
hi, nice to meet you.
yeah, you as well. You as well. Yeah, I've been watching for like I think like 5 months or something like that. But before I started watching, I actually found out about you guys because of another
Really?
YouTube channel, that did a video about you. Yeah, a long time ago, way before the live streams and everything. Their YouTube channel was
Yeah.
I think it's called 50 Shades of
Okay.
Chest Pains. Yeah, but the video about you now it's deleted now because they got like the channel stripped down
Okay.
or everything. But I made a video about you and Joy because they make videos about
I
eating
don't think I had
disorders.
anything to do with that one.
No, it was just a commentary video. But yeah, they made a bunch of videos about people with eating disorders, and they made one about you guys. So the way I was introduced was they showed a lot of videos that you guys uploaded way back in the day with like the bulimia, and that really took my interest because you don't see very much of bulimia on YouTube. And it was very interesting the way they portrayed it. Now, I don't know if they even really knew, but the way they portrayed it, they would say that it was you and Joy being bulimic together and like promoting it by making videos of it. I
Yeah.
disagree with that. I don't think that's the case, but
So you found us. Okay, let me because like people, you were one of our original people that found us through the eating disorder part of our thing, and then we started doing. And I know there was a lot of you because that's what we did for a year and a half, and we started getting some traction. I remember we were on Twitter, and people found us on Twitter. They're like, "Oh my God, I found you on YouTube!" And like we were a small community of us. It was a very tight, small community.
yeah,
So I
that
remember.
is true.
Yes, I remember.
Yes. Sorry, I'm looking at some little notes I tried to make to
Take your
ask you
time.
something.
It's all good. Look, it took forever to get this stream started. Another 30
Yeah.
seconds to make sure.
Um. Okay. Well, a question I have about that situation. Um, I think from what I've heard you say before, I'm pretty sure that Joy was bulimic before she met you. I'm pretty sure. Is
Yes.
that right?
Oh, yes.
And then it ended up with you also being bulimic for a bit. right?
Yeah, yes, we were both bulimic together. I
Yeah.
think that was actually,
Hmm.
that's probably one of the things where she felt for the first time she could be with someone that didn't judge her.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like back when I was younger, it's such a huge thing to connect with someone with like the more like taboo a disorder or anything is, the stronger the connection with another person who has it.
Right, right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
So you've had some experience with that. Is that why you found us from the other channel?
I never had bulimia. I have just some issues, just some food issues.
You don't have to go into it. I just was just curious.
No, no bulimia.
Yeah.
Actually, I tried. I was really trying. That's kind of how I,
It's
yeah,
hard, right? It's not easy.
yeah,
No,
I
it's not
tried, but
easy.
never got it to work.
Did you
So,
ever see Joy's videos where she does it like hands free?
yes, I've heard that's a thing that's pretty common with
Is it
people who are doing
common?
that for
I
years.
don't know how they
People
do
who,
that.
yeah, people who do that for years, they learn to just do it all internally, and that they don't even have to do anything.
I think once you get to that level, I think you. I mean, well, from my experience with Joy, she says it's really dangerous.
Yes, extremely.
It's like deadly, deadly dangerous.
Oh yeah,
Where you
and
because it's
I'm
so
so
easy.
happy. It's really such a huge struggle to overcome. Like that's not something you can let go for. It kind of stays with you forever, to be honest. So huge,
Yeah, it's
huge
an.
ups to you both.
Thank you so much. It's the total addiction, as you know.
Definitely.
And it sounds like you had, and I'm glad that you found some value in that because that's really what the basis of the channel was. Joy wanted to talk about things that people didn't want to talk about. And a big thing that people never talk about is our eating disorders. And now we really can't talk about too much other than like basically how we're talking about with just like more commentary. But if we were talking about like our own personal experiences, they don't allow that anymore on YouTube. It's because of Eugenia Clooney really made a big deal. I guess we had no idea who she was. You guys told us
Oh,
when we came
Eugenia
on.
Cooney.
Yeah, you guys told us who she was. So once, and what happened was is that see, we were doing this since 2022, but Eugenia Clooney was before us, and they've been trying to get her demonetized off YouTube, for a long time. So they had to change a lot of their policies. And so as they changed their policies, by 2023, they instituted all these policies where we were fine before, but now we can't even talk about eating disorders. It went way extreme, but they had to do that in order to I guess, to demonetize. I don't know. They were trying to
Yeah,
demonetize. Yeah.
that's what happened with the person who made the video about you. They made a lot of videos about eating disorders, and like their whole channel got taken down because that's
Wow.
like all. Hmm.
Wow. Well, I mean, what's happening to us because I think we were kind of grandfathered, and then what happened is that they started like these new rules came up, so they remove our things and they say, oh, hey, we probably didn't know this was a violation, so it's not a strike, but we're removing it as if it is a strike. You know what I mean? They remove it. They don't punish me or anything. They just remove the video, like videos that we've had up for like a couple years, just are
Yeah.
suddenly just going down now. And so it's like, okay. And obviously, we're not posting new stuff about that. That's why we don't talk too much about it, except at a very high level, because YouTube really does not want to go down that road anymore.
That could be YouTube deleting the videos, or it could be people going back and reporting the videos. Because I'm not gonna pretend I've never looked at the Reddit page. I've looked at it. A lot of people on there they tell everyone to go report the videos. I don't know how many people actually do because there's
Oh
not
yeah,
that many people on the Reddit, but
there's not. It's a small channel, but yeah, no, our stuff has been. See, what happens is if you cry wolf enough times, that pretty soon it's like it helped to blow up our channel because they kept getting people to investigate our stuff, and we got taken down one time. Now our bulimia videos, yeah, those could probably are getting flagged by the people, but they are, as they change their rules about everything, we don't really care because we're not really even talking about that anymore because we've kind of overcome it, except for like maybe like a small segment. So it's a less of a focus of like when bulimia, when we were active in our addiction, it consumed us all day long, and it consumed Joy. So so that's why we documented a lot of that. But today we're not active in our addiction, so it doesn't consume us.
Yeah, another thing about that, like I know you say that the reason you're able to, I don't know about you, but definitely Joy, when she got over the bulimia, it's because of the keto diet.
Yes.
Well, how did you get over it though? Because I think you got over it before you started going keto. Am I
Okay.
right?
What I did was, well, first of all, I was not nearly as bulimic as Joy.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. I was not as good as her.
As good as her.
She's diligent. You see how she's so meticulous on everything, like the bunny and everything. Da, da, da. So bulimia, she was just like, bah, 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 bah. I mean, she was like, she could starve herself to death. Okay. Whereas I was just like, oh man, half the time I didn't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
So I would end up digesting a lot. So you're asking me the question. The reason why I mentioned that is because what's happening is that I was getting very obese as I was bulimic. So even though I should be getting thinner, I was putting on weight.
Yeah, that's a pretty common thing with people actually. Because when you throw up, you're not throwing up like every single thing, and plus you don't throw up every meal. So like a lot of people with bulimia actually are overweight because of it.
Yeah, it's like a trick. It's because also you're super hungry. As soon as you vomit your meal, then you're super hungry. And what I would do is I would eat my meals, and then I would eat something very sugary and go to sleep. So my diet was way out of whack. And the way I used to stay thin was I would go to the gym and work out. I did triathlons. That's how because I'd eat all this sugar, and that's how I burned it off. But that's not realistic. Triathlons are not a realistic way to stay in shape.
No.
I mean, in fact, it's another form of an eating disorder.
True. I've seen that a lot more these days.
Well, actually, they did a study. They found, and I'm glad you're on the call, because they literally did a study after COVID, 2023, and this is probably why YouTube is freaking out. 2023, 70% of high schoolers have a form of an eating disorder. That's a lot.
Really?
70%. That's not from me. That's from the NIH.
Oh.
Yeah, you could look up the recent statistics on it, and that's way up because I've always been researching that, and that's a big jump. And they said that during COVID, eating disorder emergency room visits tripled or quadrupled during COVID.
I'm not surprised at all about that, honestly.
Why is that? Why do you think that?
Well, I think it's mostly with younger people especially during COVID, when everyone's like on their phone all the time. There's so much that is promoting eating disorder, even if it's not directly. Like, I remember, like, for me, I started out having eating problems when I was like 13 or something because of Instagram. With like, they'll show you, if you spend a lot of time looking at something on Instagram, it'll become your entire feed. Yeah. So if you like looking at skinny people on Instagram, just give it a day, and then everything you'll see on Instagram is just like the skinniest people.
Oh, God.
And that it's terrible.
Yeah.
And for young people, especially girls, it's so easy to just look up like, oh, how to lose weight, how to be skinny. And then you see all these forums. I found a bunch of forums about like eating disorders. It was called My Pro Anna. Okay,
listen, I got to get Joy. You want to talk to Joy?
Okay, yeah, let's get Joy.
Because you're dipping into the area that she knows about. You asked me a question, I'll answer it real quick. How did I get over it?
Yes, please.
What I did was, first of all, I acknowledged that it's an addiction to sugar. Okay, I was just craving sugar. That's for me. I don't know about everybody else, but for me, I wanted sugar, I wanted sweet treats, I wanted that. That's what I went crazy for. So what I did was I ate keto bars. They're like $5 a piece. But I ate those at night and I kept them by my bed because I was still addicted to sugar. And so I'd wake up with like these sugar sweats. And normally I'd go grab a Snickers, right? Or some sort of sugar. I grab a keto bar, it has 0 sugar, but your brain thinks it's sugar. So I could satisfy myself, but then I was slowly weaning myself off sugar. And pretty soon I didn't need the keto bars no more. And that took about a week, and they're expensive, an expensive way to go, but it worked for me. So that's how I got off of it. So literally, I just had to stop doing it though. I just had to. Yeah. You just have to stop. You have to stop. But you know what helps is that there's a solution, and that's what I'm saying is that if you get to where you're eating just this right here, you can eat as much of this as you want. I know it's boring, but you don't really. But food isn't supposed to be entertaining.
I
It's not.
agree.
It's supposed to
I
be like.
agree.
I mean, it can be, but we've really turned it into more of a festivity that it needs to be, and that's why it's like ah. But this is like burgers. Tell you what, when you haven't had a burger all day and you're on this diet, this is like gold. I mean, you're like, yes, protein. You get in a different mindset. So I think the best thing I can do is tell you that there's hope. That if you stop and you just start eating protein, up your protein. You're not gonna look. Joy didn't stop day one, neither did I. It took us 6 months, maybe Joy even longer. Like of just like trying it out, and we knew what to do. So the point is don't give up. Just keep working towards it. Okay.
True. I also know that Joy was. I think she was vegan and vegetarian.
Yes.
And now she does all beef. I've been vegetarian for a long time. I don't know if she's available, but I wonder how she switched, how she transitioned like that. If it was
Absolutely.
difficult.
I'll go grab her right now. Hold on.
Okay, I'm gonna look for something. Be back.
These headphones so you can hear her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, otherwise you get feedback in here. And here's your microphone.
Alright. So what's going on?
Hello. Oh hey, Joy. Oh my gosh.
How are you?
OMG. I'm good.
What's
I'm
your name?
Alyssa.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
You too. I didn't know it'd bring you on, but hello.
Hello.
I guess I have a question. I'm vegetarian. I've been vegetarian for a long time. I know you used to be vegan and vegetarian. Yeah. So, what was it like going from vegan to all beef? Like, tell me how that felt.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, it was really hard because it wasn't just that I was vegan and vegetarian. It was like my entire life. My mom had really like preached on like eating fruits and veggies and salads. Like as a girl, like that's what you eat. And like she always kind of like made me feel like meat was bad for you, you know? And yeah, and so like I honestly was one of those people that thought like red meat is bad, like for your heart and all this stuff. And what kind of weirdly transitioned me was when my mom died, I kind of got deep into my bulimia. So I kind of was like, does it matter at this point? You know, like that's kind of what happened is I was like, well, I that's when I kind of stopped being a vegan. So that's why it was a little bit easier to transition when I did go into the full beef because I had already kind of stopped being a vegan before that time. But it was weird because I do love animals and I do know that we have limited resources of animals. So honestly, as much as like I want people to do the diet, I know that like ideally that would not be good for the world. So it's like yeah, so it's like it's this weird thing of like I'm like I know it's good for me and I feel that it could be good for others, but in reality I don't want everyone to be on the diet because it wouldn't be good for all the animals. So I do feel I do like that people are vegans and vegetarians for that reason, for the fact that like, you know, you eat less animals, you know, like so if everybody was eating all the animals it would be even worse, you know. So I do feel bad that I now am one of those consumers of animals for sure.
Well, you know, you shouldn't feel bad because it's an extreme circumstance to deal with an extreme case, you know, like if that's the only thing that's going to work, then what are you going to do?
Right. Well, the issue is the sugar. So any vegan or vegetarian option, even with the protein, still has quite a good amount of sugar in it. For like, because I used to do like veggie burgers, but they're made out of vegetables, and vegetables do have sugar. They have carbs, you know. And so that's the frustrating thing is because there's still this part of me that like would love to just like be able to eat just like salad or something, you know what I mean? Like it just feels like lighter and feels like it's healthier, but for some reason for me it's not. Like other people it might be. I mean, I might just be like, I really mess up my digestive system, so it's really extreme.
Does this lettuce have sugar? Just like straight lettuce?
Very small amounts. Yeah, that's what like the animals that Richard's always talking about, like the bunnies and stuff. They're pretty much they're vegan and vegetarian on like just like things like the greens. You have very small amounts if you just stuck with like we did for a little bit. We ate like collard greens and kale with our diet. That worked out pretty well for me, but I did find I bloated a bit because something about especially the kale, I think when also like you gotta watch like at first for a second I tried like broccoli, that actually bloats you. So if you're not your broccoli,
really?
It is a thing that actually people are like watch broccoli for bloating. I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was, and cauliflower. Oh. So some of the veggies actually, like even like with Casper, my bunny, I gave him cabbage and he started getting really gassy.
Oh my god.
Some of the veggies can cause bloating for it might not even be just the sugar, just something about the fiber or something in it. Because veggies often get you going to the bathroom, but sometimes before you go to the bathroom, you're gonna bloat really bad. So TMI, but yeah, I'm glad you're here for the eating disorder because I would love to talk about it more, but. Ever since you do know about Eugenia Cooney, because ever since her, I guess YouTube has made very strong policies against.
Yeah, it's because a lot of people like have been telling YouTube that she shouldn't be platformed, and everyone's like screaming, take away her platform. But then you have a whole bunch of other people saying just because she's sick doesn't mean she should be deplatformed. So
it's a hard thing because I did see with her like it is hard because it's like in a way her sickness is what's giving her views, so that is really difficult because I could see why people were frustrated, but then like you said it's hard because it's like, well, do you just shut it down and then she's just going to be sick on her own, or now she's on different platforms even, I heard. But it is hard when you're realizing that like she's being like the money incentive is continue like incentivizing her to stay sick, and that's not
definitely yeah.
So that's why I think YouTube wanted to shut that down, because you don't want to be like encouraging. I don't know how she's alive, to be honest.
I know, because she's been very sick for a long time. Like I remember I was very young, and I saw her so skinny. Like I don't know how she's still doing it.
Well, and what's crazy is I didn't know about her until like just recently, but like Richard showed me her one time and I thought he was showing me like some edited thing, like some fake thing. I was like, oh, that's not real. Like I was like, Richard, that's not a real person. What is that? Some they obviously digitized themselves somehow or something. And so I didn't even think anything of it. And then later on, I think it was Amanda that first showed me her. And then I was like, oh dear, she's like a living person. Like she moves and it's not fake. Like that, what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, it is bizarre.
I don't know.
I remember, I think it was like around COVID. Do you know who Shane Dawson is?
No.
He's another big YouTuber from like, I don't know, like 10 years ago. He was really big. But he started doing these like documentaries, and he had one with Eugenia, and she kind of like it looked like she got better for a while. Like she looked so much better and much healthier. But then just a bit after that, she went right back. So I don't know.
I don't know why. I mean, I understand eating disorders. I get. See, mine came out of wanting to be thin, but then not knowing what to eat, to be honest. Like, so kind of being frustrated. Like, and I honestly was choosing the wrong items now that I realized as I get older, I was going for often like beverages, beverages are the worst thing. I don't know if you know that. Like,
true.
People want to go for beverages because for some reason in our mind we think a beverage is not food. But the problem with a beverage is you don't digest it anyway. So it's just like instant, all the calories, all the sugar right into your bloodstream. So it's like actually the worst thing. Like beverages are where people get most of their weight is coming through. So I had this thing of only doing beverages, like for most of my life. Like I thought, oh, it was weird. Like I, in my mind, thought, oh, I drank something, so that doesn't count as calories. You know what I mean? So I was so frustrated, never understanding why I was gaining weight when I was doing the worst things, you know? And so I understand wanting to be thin, but I never wanted to be super thin. That just came out of not knowing how to stop. Does that make sense? Like where it gets too bad and then you don't know how to stop. Yeah. And so that's when I got really, really thin. Was I knew I was too thin, but I didn't know how to stop it. So that's why people were, or that's early on with this channel, they kept shutting me down because they thought I was glamorizing my low weight.
Yeah, and that's what they say about Eugenia too. And I've seen some clips of her where it kind of does seem like she is doing that, but I don't think you ever did that. I've been watching for a while. You never did anything like that.
When early on I was like 96 pounds, we were trying to show that I was trying to gain weight. And people go, oh, well, it's easy to gain weight. But you're like, not if you're trying to stop an addiction. You know what I mean? Like that was my issue, was I was trying to get off of the bulimia. I couldn't put on the weight until I stopped the bulimia because that's what happened. I kept, because like
people, they have this perception of eating disorders as like such a vanity thing. Like, oh, you just want to be perfect. But it's so much more than that.
Yeah, they're always, well, for one thing, it's always a deeper emotional thing. I mean, my mom always said they usually roots from, like with me, like when my dad left when I was a little girl, you know, it starts then. Like, because I started when I was pretty young, being like weight conscious, you know, like, I think girls, if you might not be your dad leaving, but in something where you feel a need to make sure you look good, you know, whatever. But yeah, I remember thinking I was the only one that had an eating disorder, though. And that's why I wanted to do this YouTube thing, was to let people know they weren't alone. But then I think they thought I was trying to be like one of the pro-Anna things or pro-me or whatever those things are, you know, that they will.
Yeah, I think it's just because I remember, actually, I don't know if you were hearing when it was Rich earlier, me talking to him, but the way I found out about your channel was another YouTuber who did a lot of videos about eating disorder content, and they did a video about you guys, and they were saying, they were called 50 Shades of Chest Pains is their YouTube channel.
Oh, check it out.
Well, all their videos kind of got deleted because YouTube didn't want to support it. I don't know. So they're not, the video's gone now, but what they say, they were showing videos of you and Rich throwing up in the hotels or wherever, and they were saying you're promoting it, and I ended up checking out the channel, and it was all about you trying to recover from it. So you got to do your own research.
This is crazy. I hated him filming me doing that. Like, I don't know if people like,
really.
Oh god, it was the worst thing ever. Like, for one thing, I found that to be the most disgusting thing. I couldn't believe people wanted to watch it, but it really helped me because every time I wanted to binge, he's like, "All right, I'm getting the camera out," and I'm like, "Oh,
oh my gosh, really?"
Yeah, and it really helped me like get over it because you're like, it's really embarrassing because it's a very secretive thing, you know, like, and it's
when I first saw it, I would never have thought that you didn't want it because I would think if you didn't, I would think he wouldn't do it.
I wanted to help others, so I was thinking it could help, but no, I mean, it was embarrassing. Oh dear. I mean, you don't want to like vomit in front of people and show how much you're eating. No. It's an embarrassing thing, but I knew I was going to get better because I had been better before. If I hadn't been better before, I don't know if I would have done it. Like, because then I would have just been like, just showing myself being sick. That would have been weird, you know what I mean? But I knew I could get better. But it was hard the second time because we lived here. And the first time around, we just didn't buy the food. We didn't have it available. And we wouldn't just go get it. It'd be like, what's your home? I'm not going to, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to go get it. But here, when it was literally Gloria would knock on my door with pancakes and stuff, I was like, oh, man. And I loved pancakes. That's why it's funny the whole pancake thing later became a thing because those were my weakness with Gloria's pancakes early on. Like, I would make it sometimes halfway through the day, and then Gloria would decide to make pancakes in the middle of the day, and I'd be like, oh, no, because they smell good and everything with the bacon.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no.
Maybe you could answer the question, because she asked me the question, like, how did I stop doing it as well? Like, how
Richard Literally almost dies every time, like really bad. There's something that happens where he can't breathe. I don't know what happens. Well, the fun thing, he eats like 9 million donuts and bagels, so he gets he can't breathe. He goes nuts with bagels and donuts. I don't like bagels and donuts very much, but I don't. Well, for one thing, you can't vomit them very easily, so I don't know what he's thinking eating those things. But anyways, they're terrible. So it gets stuck in his throat, and then he just almost dies. It's awful. It's awful. So he makes me stop sooner because he goes faster than me in a sense. Like, I'm always like, man, you gotta ruin it so fast for us. You know, like every time we've gone, which is good. But at the time I'll be like frustrated with him because I'll be like, man, I thought we could go do this a little longer, you know, because we always, like, that when we went back, we knew it was bad. And so we knew it was going to be short term. Because for one thing, we kind of were very happy with our bodies. And we were watching them deteriorate as we were doing an eating disorder. Like, that's the thing. You don't have a good body when you have an eating disorder. That's what's frustrating is you want to have a good body, but you don't. You never do. Maybe early on for a second. You might be like, oh, this works for a second, but then it stops working because it's unhealthy. So when you're unhealthy, your body will start to not look good. It's like
not even just the look. You can, like, feel it inside. It's like, you just,
Or even like the people with Ozempic, I don't know what's good. Like, you can just tell that they're not healthy. I don't know what that drug does, but they don't look healthy to me.
Oh yeah, they call it Ozempic face.
Yeah, I was
There's
looking
like
at that
special
today.
face.
Like Jessica Simpson. Oh, so bad. I was like, oh man. And I can see where at first you might be liking that you got thinner in the face, but then it goes too far, you know? And that's what happens with me. Like, I know that happened with me when I had my eating disorder. I remember if there was a second that you're like, oh, you look okay. And then you start to look really old. It ages you and you look really like the Ozempic face. Because that's the thing is there's no, we like to say, there's really no shortcuts to health. Like, people always want to, think that there is, but there isn't.
And it's never worth it. It's like, it always ends up in disaster.
Yeah. And the only way you look good is if you're healthy. That's actually
true.
The key.
That's very true.
Because there's been so many times, like for me, I wanted to drink alcohol. That was my, like, kind of, like, drug of choice in a way. And I loved alcohol, and it always made me crazy. But the final thing that really did me in with alcohol is it makes me look awful. And it's finally funny that it's a vanity thing that finally is, like, the thing where I wouldn't even consider taking a sip of alcohol because I'm like, you know what, I look terrible when I drink alcohol. Because it literally is poison. No, it doesn't. Me and Richard noticed because we hadn't drank in years and years and years. And then we drank for just a short time, like a couple months. And within those couple months, it deteriorated our looks so fast. It was like, wow, alcohol really doesn't make you look good, you know? And so things like that, we just realized, like, we smoke weed. We didn't for a while when we didn't have money, but now we're getting some money. So weed we don't think makes us look bad in any way. But other things, like, you know what I mean? So we found weed and the diet we do, we feel healthy. But everyone judges us and says we're on all these other drugs. I'm like, if we were, you would be able to tell. Because we've been on other drugs and we look like crap.
Yeah, I don't believe you guys are on drugs. I see a lot of people accusing a lot. It's crazy, actually. I don't know. I think it's just because, I don't know. Maybe it's just the unconventional lifestyle, I guess. Maybe that's why.
I think they would do drugs if they lived our life, is why they think that. And we have done drugs in the past, which we've been open about. Only cocaine, that's the only. But the thing is, not with Annette. Like, that was why people that were trying to say is that we were basically, like, free, like, to live our life whenever we had no children, we had no responsibilities. So we thought, you know, we didn't. Annette was Gloria's responsibility all these years. She didn't really even want us to really take any lead there. She wanted us to help her financially, but other than that, she didn't really want any help with Annette as far as, like, taking help with, like, you know, how to take care of her. And so we just kind of always felt free. We did our thing. But as soon as we stepped up to the plate of taking care of Annette, it's like all of our old addictions and things got put aside. It's like, we can't do those things because we have to focus on her. So that's why it's like, people bring up our past. It's like, yeah, but that's all changed since we basically kind of became like parents in a sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what a lot of people say about parenting. When they have their own child, they, like, are forced to get better themselves for the child.
Yeah, and we actually are very grateful for Annette for that reason, to be honest, because she kind of saved us in that sense. You know.
So how did you find out? Like, I know that you kind of knew that Annette wasn't in good shape before you came and lived there. Like, what'd you know then? Like,
Well,
tell me about how you found out.
What we always knew Annette wasn't doing well, but what we believed was that there was nothing that could be done. Does that make sense? Like, we thought that Gloria was doing the best she could for Annette. Like, I didn't realize that with proper care, Annette would be way more functional. We kind of just thought Annette was just berserk, and that's just like, and you just try to manage her craziness, kind of, in a sense. Like, we didn't realize, honestly, till we got here, that it could be kind of like minimized, in a sense, her outbursts and stuff, because she was always just like screaming and yelling, and and what happened is every year we would see her, she would be thinner, and that really concerned me, because I was like, Richard, every year I don't think your sister can get thinner, and then she gets thinner, and it's just crazy. And Gloria would always just be like, oh, she doesn't want to eat or whatever. And am I letting the wrong camera? And so he's got like a couple cameras. I'm not really sure which one I'm supposed to look at. But what really worried us is as soon as we got here. So what people like to rag on us about, and it is that we were homeless for 2 months before we came here. But here's the thing, that was by choice, because I was kind of tired of doing my job, and we really had no purpose in our life, and we were back into being bulimic and stuff, and I was like, and we were drinking alcohol, and I was like, I just kind of gave up. I'm like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of even like waking up every day? Like, we have no purpose. So all we do is just like me and Richard had no purpose. Like, we didn't have, we got up and we ate and we watched TV or whatever. I mean, like, but we had like no one that we was relying on us. Like, if we didn't get out of bed, it didn't matter. You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it became like, what's the point? So I ended up just like stopped going to work, and then we just got where we're like, okay, well, do you want to go to work or do you want to go homeless? And I'm like, homeless. And Richard was not happy about this, And I'm like, and so, but the fact that he went along with me and kind of like let me, because like that's where people go like, oh, he forced you. If he had forced me, like he would, I was like, no, I don't want to work, And so, but we did that for like 2 months, and finally one day, we're like, should we just call Gloria, because like it was just kind of like, we always knew that we could call her, but when we got here, we were like, well, we don't want to stay here, because this place was overtaken with rats and bed bugs, and she had hoarded, it was awful. So we're like, we'd rather be homeless. But as soon as we saw Annette, it was like, we can't, like, because like we were here for a couple days, and we kind of just saw how Gloria and Annette interacted, which we had never witnessed them interacting together to that level. Because we'd only come for, at most a couple hours, and then you leave. So you don't see the daily interaction. And so what I was seeing was Gloria was attacking her a lot whenever Annette would act out, which was constantly. So it was like Annette would yell and scream and throw things, and then Gloria would come at her with a broom and attack her, and tell her to leave the house, like with a broom, like beating her out of the house. I remember. And I was just like, can we like handle this differently? Does it have to go like this every time? So the first thing I was like, Gloria, don't hit her with the broom. It's okay if she yells. It doesn't bother us if she yells. Who cares if she yells? Like, let's not kick her out of the house every time she yells. So that was like the first thing. I talked to Rich first about it, and so I think he was, said it. Because right on, I was not trying to take over. Like, I am not someone that walks into someone's house and goes like, oh, do it this way, da da da. But like, I couldn't stand by and watch what was going on for very long. Like, it was pretty bad. And so I just slowly kind of had to start doing things like cleaning the house and stuff. And it was hard because Gloria is a hoarder. So at first she didn't want to like go over. So we kind of had to do it without her noticing. Like, we literally were like taking out all of this trash and waste without her even realizing. And every day she'd just kind of be like, oh, it's cleaner, but not realize. Like, it happened like little at a time. But the house was filled to the gills. Like, there was no floor in this house anywhere. And so we would just take it to the dump. And she once in a while would see a bag and she'd be like, what's that? We're like, oh, just some trash. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I remember the time when you were getting rid of the bed bugs and you had like some pillows and blankets outside and she brought them back inside.
Well, here's the problem. She brought the bed bugs to herself. Gloria's the only one with a really bad bed bug problem right now because of those pillows. She didn't have an issue. She was the only one without bed bugs, and they weren't in the front. That's why when we first moved here, we all wanted to be in the living room because there's no bed bugs in the living room. Till Gloria brought those pillows out there. And now she's infested with bed bugs. She was complaining the other day.
She still has them now?
Yeah, none of us do. And now so we put that Damascus earth out there for her and give her the bed bug spray and stuff. And she cleaned all the stuff. But I'm like, Gloria, you did that to yourself. Because I was thinking about it. I was like, why does she have bed bugs? Because, it's like they don't really usually crawl all the way to the living room. That's one thing about the bed bugs. They kind of stay where they're at. Mm-hmm. So, like, they were, like, infested in Annette's room and infested in our room. Then when we got those areas, it doesn't seem like they're not crawling all over the walls, all over the house. They don't really do that, luckily. They kind of just stay, I guess, in the bed areas. But, so Gloria didn't have them out there until she brought all those pillows onto her bed. And now her poor thing, I'm like, Gloria, what were you thinking? We told her how many times.
So I don't know if I'm right about this, but she like stays in like the living room area. Yeah, is that right?
So here's the thing. People get honest about that because they're like, well, that's not fair that she's out there. But here's the thing. Gloria has never slept in her room. I think she doesn't like it since Richard's father died in that room. So ever since his father died, she's never been in there. So he died in 2011, and Gloria has just been hoarding in that room ever since. So so nothing worked in that room. Like, she didn't use the bathroom in there, so like everything had broke throughout the years. So like both the sinks had broke, the toilet and the shower weren't working when we got here. So like they only used the one bathroom. So she just wouldn't go in that room. Like they'd go into the closet once in a while, but the closet was filled to the gills. But primarily she just would go in there just to throw things in there or maybe find things out of the room. But she never slept in there or anything because, for one thing, the bed bugs had gotten horrible in that room too. And the mice had taken over that room. So Gloria always slept on the couch. So when we first got here, we all stayed in the living room. We left Gloria on the couch. Or Gloria or Richard would take the couch, one of them, or the recliner. They would take turns, and then I would sleep on the chair that's now in our room, used to be in the living room, and I would sleep on it sideways because we all would be in the living room rather than be in that room. But one day I got really sick, and Gloria said, why don't you go sleep in my room? So I went in there, and she kept telling us to take her room, and we're like, well, we don't want it, because we weren't planning on staying here. But the longer we observed Annette, we're like, we can't really leave them. And then we started to think about it. We're like, it doesn't really make sense for the couple to be in the living room and Gloria to be in the room when she actually loves watching the TV. And we had given the TV over to Annette. So at first we didn't even have a TV in the bedroom for a second until we had to get this other Roku TV we got for like $500. And then Annette got a new TV that we got from the weed place, the dispensary, gave it to us. But so for a minute we didn't even have a TV in the rooms, and Gloria loves watching the TV. So we're like, you know what? It probably makes sense for us to be in the room, even though that sucks because Gloria doesn't have a room, but she was never using it anyways. But what would be ideal is this is a duplex. If we ever got enough money, we would love to buy the other side. Then we could. Because we don't want to move out of here because that would be too far from the ladies. We could afford it. It would be great, actually, to move out of here and be in our own place. But we would never want to leave Annette, like, alone with Gloria for even that long anymore. Because especially now, Gloria just kind of doesn't really even know what to do for Annette. Like, we do most of her care. So it would be,
she's very old herself. Like, it's very difficult to take care of another person at that age.
Yeah, that was the thing. We should have stepped in sooner. And that's what we do feel bad about. But to be honest, without us being homeless, this is what no one gets. Without us being homeless and without this insane scenario, there's no way we would have ever moved in here. And without us moving in here, we could have never helped them because money was not helping them. And that's what we kept giving them throughout the years. But that wasn't helping them. They needed us being here. But we would have never. Like, there's no way. Because even when we were homeless, we still left after coming here. We left, and then we felt bad.
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
I
And we were
heard you
like, we have to
mention
go
that
live.
before.
Yeah, and we were like, but we couldn't take it living here. We're like, we want to go back homeless. But then we kept thinking of that, and we're like, all right, we got to go back. And we're like, we got to clean up that house. But we kept thinking, how? Like, how are we going to clean that house? It was, I mean, I wish we had more footage, but we didn't plan on doing this channel or even talking about it. But it was so daunting, like, when you first got here. It was just like, where do you even begin?
Just so you know, Moon Zen is here.
Okay.
And she's saying that the place was spotless when we got here, and that you got drunk and destroyed it.
That's
And so, and saying there's videos of how clean it was when we got here. And she's talking about the time. Remember we got back from New York, or maybe.
Oh, you're talking about 2014. She's talking about
2014, yes.
2014. That's when we got married. Yeah, the place was still clean because Gloria had only been here for about a year.
Because that's your big trip.
Because she'd been in Portland. So, yeah, those are just funny lies.
She loves making lies up.
All right, well, I'm gonna let you get back on.
Oh, okay.
You ready to come back on?
Done? Yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time, Alyssa.
Yes, me too. Nice to talk to
You're
you.
awesome. You're awesome.
Okay.
I'll try
Oh,
to.
thank you.
I want to talk more about the eating disorders, but I'm trying to walk around.
Walk away from it.
No, not walk
Yeah.
away. Walk around the like
YouTube
what's
policies,
allowed.
yeah.
Yeah, what's allowed without getting in trouble, but still be because I know a lot of people. You know, everyone's struggling with that. Everyone struggles with what to eat and their weight, and like wanting to be a certain weight or not a weight, whatever. It's like it's a constant struggle for most people. So it's like
Yeah, people are embarrassed to talk about it.
Yeah.
So
and I get them not wanting to glorify it, but then there's the like, well, you need people to be able to have an outlet to talk about it too, though.
definitely.
So it's tough. But I get it there because I'm very careful with like people early on wanted to know like steps or tips from me, and I was like, no, I'm not going there because I knew that would be no. They're like, how do you do that? How do you do something? No.
No, that's not chill.
Yeah, because I was like, no, if I did any sort of like, this is how I be bulimic sort of thing, I knew that would be, because that's not what I was trying to show how to not be bulimic.
Yeah, that's the exact opposite of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, so I was like, no, I'm not falling into that trap because people were asking all these questions. I was like, no way. But even talking about it at all, they don't like that too much. So it's tough. It's a tough little. I think they don't mind a little bit, but they definitely didn't want the vomiting videos. So.
Yeah, no.
I can't believe people watch those. I can't watch them. I've never watched them. Like Richard O'Chai, I'm like, no.
Oh my God.
Please. So gross too. The house was so dirty then too. That was we were starting to clean it, but it wasn't. It's still dirty even now. But it was even dirtier then. And I remember the worst part of those videos is I remember being embarrassed about how dirty the place was. Like even more so than the vomiting. I was like, oh, the place is so gross.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I would like black out in that moment and never remember it ever again. That's very intense.
Yeah, it was interesting times, but I'm just glad that honestly, I'm glad it was documented because the first time around we didn't document it. And we just were telling people, and I think a lot of times people don't believe us, just like they never believe us. So it was kind of cool that like they could clearly see, I had an eating disorder big time. And some people still think I do because I'm thin, but I think you can clearly see the difference of like when I was unhealthy and when I'm healthy. Like I think people can clearly see the difference.
I mean, like when you get healthy, like with eating, you'll like maintain like your appearance and like you'll start to flatten out. Like I look one way.
Yeah.
I don't think you looked a lot sicker before.
Yeah.
But now you're chill and you're like maintaining and it's chill.
Yeah,
so people don't know who's unhealthy or who's healthy just by looking at them. Like you shouldn't assume.
Yeah. I know. I think it's pretty obvious when people are healthy or unhealthy, but a lot of people are not very good at telling that. Like they'll think just thin is healthy or unhealthy, whatever way they want to look, and they think just being larger is healthy or unhealthy, whatever way. And it's like there's varying levels on each side,
For sure.
Like some people want to say, oh, don't ever say fat is unhealthy, and I say there's varying levels. There's some fat is healthy, but too fat is unhealthy, just like too thin is unhealthy. So there's varying levels for both things. So that's why like people always want to say it's okay to call people too thin, but then don't call people too fat. And I'm like, no, well, there's varying levels on like. Some people are too thin, some people are too fat, but most people are just in between, you know.
Yeah,
Most
and even
people
if
are not
someone
really-
even if someone looks like perfectly healthy weight and everything, they could have like the worst chronic illness ever, and you don't even know.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so it's like weight is only like one factor of health at all. You know what I mean? Like it's like you say, there's so many other things. So I know it's a lot of times people will say the times people will commend them was the times they were the least healthy. You know, like, and that's frustrating for people. I know they'll be like, oh, I was told I looked good when I was doing, you know, this drug, or when I was, you know, doing an eating disorder or something, and then but that's always like a fleeting thing. Usually it'll be like early on, because the longer someone stays in a unhealthy thing, they usually don't look that good. But early on, sometimes they will, and they'll get commended, and then they'll think, oh, I need to continue this, you know. But
Yeah, there's so much of that. I think people should just stop commenting about anyone's appearance, like, oh, you look much better this way, because that can mean the world to someone. Yeah.
I agree. I know. I feel bad for the celebs. They get that so bad, where people will
Oh,
comment so
constantly.
much one way or the other, and I'm like, either way, even that's why I always say, even if someone's complimenting you, it can be not good, because then you know they're still analyzing your looks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you know,
Yeah, and
okay,
then you
think
wanna-
I look good now, but maybe I won't look good to you another way. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm
And it's all
always
subjective anyway, so no one should even care.
Yep. So true. All right, well, I had a great time. I'm gonna send you back to Rich.
Okay, come on.
Yes,
And I really
awesome.
enjoyed meeting you. All right.
You as well.
Have a good one. All
You
right,
too.
Here you go. Ooh, it's getting hot in here.
It is a little hot here, huh?
Ooh, you gotta put the air on. Here's your microphone.
Oh, thank you so much.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right, did you get enough food? Give me a little more.
Did I get enough food? I think I'm doing good.
That was only your lunch.
I think I'm doing really good. I would like a little dinner later. Hey, what's up, Alyssa?
Hey.
Are you still there? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get your questions answered?
Yeah, lots of information. Yes.
Cool. Awesome.
Yay.
Awesome. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming on the stream. I'm gonna go play piano. Do you want to hang out?
Oh,
or
okay.
you wanna-
Can I have
you gonna
one more
split?
question?
Oh, you have
One
more
more
questions?
question.
Okay.
I have a few more questions. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So, I'm really passionate about insects and bugs. I'm a huge bug person.
Are you?
Yes. Tell me what kind of bugs you saw in Panama, and
Oh,
which ones
gosh.
were like the craziest bugs.
The moths.
Really?
moths,
Like you got
yeah.
huge moths?
Like huge. Like I have a photo. Let me see if I can. I mean, it was good question. Good question. If you like insects, Panama. Well, we lived in the city, so it wasn't so bad. But you step outside the city, but this moth was so huge. It was scary.
Yeah,
I
please
know
let me see it.
It sounds weird, but it sounds weird to be scared of a moth, but I was.
No, my sister has like a deathly fear of moths. Like she'll scream at a moth.
So weird. Yeah. So, what's your favorite insect?
Ooh, probably robber flies. They're like a predatory fly.
Oh my god.
They're super cool.
That's cool. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna see if I can find let's see if we find the moth.
Someone asked if my future is in journalism. No, but that would be super cool. I've always been very into that.
Really?
So I would hope that.
Yeah. You definitely, well, you're definitely a creator because you're here. You know, I mean.
Not really. I mean, sometimes I'll stream on Twitch, but I'm not really a creator. Like, not my focus. But it's
This
fun.
might not be your format. Like streaming might not be your format. I know you guys are gonna laugh at me because I said this to the last person that interviewed me. You seem like a really good writer. You seem like you could be a really good writer.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
No, that so when you say journalism, it kind of makes sense. But journalism is a little more cutthroat. You have to really cut into it. You know, you really have to. But whereas you just seem like you kind of ask questions. You think about a lot of things. You analyze it, and like you said, I didn't even know who you were for 5 months.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? You kind of sat back and then okay, I got some questions now. 5 months? Oh my gosh! I mean, most people is like impulse, like, hey, why are you cooking in the kitchen?
I mean, I've asked questions in the chat, but there's so many people in chat, it's hard to keep track.
It is hard, and then we also don't, you know, it gets a little messy down there. Hold on, where is? I got the new. I updated my phone, and now you guys do the update on the Apple? Anybody? Photos is completely out of whack. It's completely it's a new program. Okay. Hopefully it works better. Yes, it did find the moss. Okay. Man, this doesn't quite give it. This doesn't show you how big it is.
Is that on a ceiling?
It's on a ceiling, but look, it's like the size of a bat.
Yeah, I can tell. Like, that's like the corner of the ceiling?
Yeah,
that's pretty huge. Yeah.
It's like koi coming. And then you see its eyes. It's looking right at me.
Oh my! I can't see the eyes. Maybe I just have bad connection. But
yeah,
no, I see it.
Yeah, you see those eyes. It's just like staring right at me, freaking me out. Okay, there's that one. Okay, I got another one. Moss freaked me out. I'm telling you. That was in Panama. This was in Vegas. This guy was just in my car.
Oh,
yeah.
He's cute.
Yeah, cool. Not predatory or anything.
Nah.
I'm trying to think. God, man, you ask questions that require. You know who's really good at detailed like memory stuff is Joy. Joy remembers everything. Like she remembers like this. Like she has kind of a photographic memory.
I know. I've seen her tell many stories in very much depth.
Very detailed. I know. And so when you ask me these great questions, I'm like, which is what a writer would do. You know what I mean? Like if you were writing a book, let's say on eating disorders, whatever. That's what you're doing right now. You're doing your writer research.
I guess you could call it that.
That's exactly what it is. If you were to write a book, I mean, that's exactly what you're doing, because you studied me, and then, or you studied not me, but you studied the other channel. You were studying the subject, and then you found the other channel, found me. Now you're interviewing me. You're doing your research, and that's why someone said you'd be good at journalism. Yes and no, except journalism is different. Journalism is much more aggressive. It's much more like pointed, and it doesn't. The amount of research you put into like what you're doing right now is more of like someone who'd write a book. Journalists do like man, they got to be quick, fast, and they, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you can't do that. I just think that there's enough people doing that already. There needs to be more people like you.
Most journalists today, like all they're doing is writing for BuzzFeed, like the top 10 Harry Potter moments. You know, that's today's journalism.
Yeah, it's like I love the ones that say, everyone is talking about this. It's like, no, you guys, literally you wrote this, and now it's like, no. Anyways, what's your next question, Alyssa?
Let me see. Okay, well, I guess like what you are doing now with your channel, like you're just doing a lot of streams and making the videos, like your videos, they kind of all are pretty much about the family. Like, have you ever thought about making different types of content, like trying out different types of things just to see how it would go?
Like what though? Like, yeah, I mean, that's a great idea. But honestly, I think Joy is all about like effortless action. Like, do what's in front of you. You know what I mean? Because if it required us to go outside of like we film like what's in front of us, what we think, what we feel, and we put up sometimes something we remind us of an old video from like 2015 or 2019. So we repost some of those old ones. But for the most part, it's kind of what's happening right now, and we kind of do that. But what you're describing is like, I mean, what are you like saying? Like, oh, do you want to go? Like, I mean, you're not just saying like take the family boating. You're saying like let's do a video about boats, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, like, because the channel is about the family, and like, you want to keep it all about one thing. That's like how YouTube. That's kind of how people.
I see. Yeah, the algorithm likes it. It figures out that you're a certain way, and then if you try to step outside of that, you get 0 views, and then you put like one in your algorithm, and you get like 10,000 views. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, and then also like the viewers, like they come to expect like this type of content, you want to keep it about it's the same style of content, but what I mean, like maybe just like how you do the grocery shopping videos, stuff like that, like don't like.
That's what I want to do more. I think more kind of like because I think the grocery thing, we get a lot of views on that, and it's really, and I can do that relatively easy because people want to see it. They don't want to see it all edited. They want to see it going through the store, and it's like it's a nice flow, and I don't know. It's a visually appealing for a lot of people, but also Joy is a really good shopper, and so she knows how to find really good deals. So the couple things is that it's helpful, like the way she shops. She's like, we go to like 2 or 3 stores. Sometimes we go to 3 stores in the morning.
That's pretty crazy.
Is it crazy? I mean, I've been doing it for so long, it doesn't seem crazy to me at all. And you know what's crazier?
What?
Okay. This is where you guys are going to clip this and say I'm a real jerk. But I got on this trip after we left the cave that we didn't need a car no more. And that we should just be Jedi and we can just do public transportation. Because, I was coming from New York City mindset, even in Portland, Oregon. Not realizing that Vegas has like one of the worst like bus systems ever, it's like it's terrible here. Point is this. So from 2018 through COVID, Joy would walk to the stores.
Oh.
And then when COVID happened, what happened was they limited the amount of beef you could buy per day, right? Do you remember that? Were you old enough to remember that?
No, I mean, I wasn't really dropping for beef.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. They put rations in stores. So if you went there, you could only buy 2 pounds per person. Okay, well, we eat 6 pounds a day. So Joy, we didn't have a car either. So Joy would have to walk. I mean, it would be an all-day adventure every day during COVID. I mean, hey, you got balloons. That's cool.
Yeah.
That was neat.
Yeah. There's another one. There's like, I think this one does something. I think maybe that.
Nobody ever, the thing about Streamlabs is no one tells you how this thing works. Like,
well, I think the balloons and the stuff, it's like an Apple thing. This is an Apple. Yeah.
Oh, well, look at you go.
Yeah. They did that with iPhones.
Oh, you did that. I don't think I can do that.
You can do it right now. Do it. Do the heart thing.
I don't think
Just
so.
keep it there for.
No.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoa.
Yeah.
See that? Thanks, Alyssa. Man, that does look. That's visually cool. Next time what we're on right now, the reason why it's a little grainy is because the template had this set up for 320 by 640 or something instead of like 720. So it's just a little grainy. So maybe next time I'll set it up, but. I think it does that because lower data for streaming to other people, because when you want to stream.
Yeah, I don't have connection.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the connection. Sometimes the data has to do with the phone. Like if you have an older phone, if you're doing like real high colors and stuff, the phone's just gonna be like, forget it. I can't do that. I'm too old. You gotta get one of those younger phones.
What phone do you have?
We have an iPhone 14, but I'll be due for an upgrade here in October, coming around, or March officially.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'll probably upgrade to a 16 then. I mean, ideally, I can already tell with the new software upgrade. What they do is they upgrade your software, and when you upgrade your software, it's built on the faster phones. So the old phone, so as long as you don't upgrade your software, you're pretty good. As long as you can hold off on upgrading the iOS. But
yeah, and sometimes they make you though. It's like
sometimes they make you, like in this case, like what we're doing right now, like this live streaming stuff, and with this, I'm using an iPhone. Did you know that?
Yeah, because you got the balloons and stuff.
Well, I'm on a desktop, and there's something called a continuity camera. Do you know what that is? I didn't know what it is until like last week. Okay, so I'm just saying. What it is basically my camera, my iPhone is now my webcam, but it was working, but then they did something with the software, so I had to update my software in order to make that work. That's what I was gonna say. This is
Yeah.
like the most boring conversation I've ever had. I'm like bored halfway through it.
Well, okay, I'm not a tech
It's
person.
not your fault. It's my fault. I'm the one talking about something totally boring.
You know what's not boring? These comments are unhinged. Some people are
They're
really
out-
unhinged.
They're out of
with the
control. I don't know how you read them. See, I can't read. I mean, can you imagine trying to do a stream and read those? It'd be impossible. It'd be absolutely impossible to actually read each comment. I mean, first of all, like 99% of them, like from the haters, are just like mistruths, and so it's like if someone talks about and they know all your personal life because you already did. So someone comes over, hey Alyssa, I heard you did this and this and this, and why'd you do that? And then the next one is, oh, I heard you did. It's like it's kind of hard not to to talk about stuff if you're like, I never said that, I never did that. Why are you guys saying that? Oh yeah, burgers, I'm ready. Calabasas maybe, Calabasas. Yeah, Joy just walked by. She's doing dinner.
Oh, nice.
Where are you, Alyssa? What part of the country are you in?
Ooh, Maryland. Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I liked it.
Well, do you have more questions? Do you have anything else you want to say? I would say you're doing great. I mean, because you saw all the stuff in the comments. You know how.
Yes, I've been paying attention. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know how toxic this room is, and you know how everyone was saying about the stream cam and talking all this crap about how I was faking it, like I was pretending like I didn't know how to. You're the first person I've done this with.
Really? I thought you just
Yes.
had a thing with what's her Ava?
That
I
was
saw
on
like
her. That was on her stream.
Oh,
You're the first
yeah.
person I've done this with on my stuff.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
so
hey,
that's why
making
I was trying-
history.
Well, the point is that it took me a second to fill it out, but the whole time, can you imagine if I had a job, and my job was to set this thing up for live streaming, right? For a collab camp, right? And I'm here, and I've got LC Win a Black Dress, I've got Moon Zen, I've got Claire, all of them in the office behind me as I'm working on the computer, saying the shit that they were saying in the room. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to figure this thing out, and they're saying stuff like, oh, he's not trying to fix it. He's just faking it. He's just making it mute on purpose. Like, can you imagine if they were here in person, I'm trying to fix this thing, with 100 people in the room, and I'm trying to get this thing going. I mean, that was like the rudest thing you guys were doing. I mean, it was just like, do you guys not realize I am a person, and I do have. I mean, it's like I'm trying to read. I mean, I only had to read your comments because I was working on the computer. So as I was working trying to get this thing out, I could see your stuff out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, dude, it's like it'd be like if I was trying to okay, in Mission Impossible, you got to figure out, is it the red wire, the blue wire, or the yellow one? And the clock is 5, 4, and then you got Moon's he doesn't know what he's doing, he's faking it. You're like, shut up, I'm trying to remember, I don't want to blow this place up, man. It's like you're not helping, Moon's in.
The comments are a thing every YouTuber has to deal with, not cool, but you especially, you have a lot of negative comments in the chat all the time.
I know, they absolutely hate me.
I've seen you read some comments, and then even if it's just one comment, you can talk about the comment for a long time. You get pretty frazzled by some comments sometimes.
Is that right?
Yeah, I mean,
man.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, you need to send me. You need a little buzzer to let me know when I'm doing that, because sometimes I'm unaware. I'm just talking.
Yeah, and then I read the chat, and some people are. It becomes more when you react to it, more people try to keep going to get more reaction.
Yeah, isn't it amazing?
Yeah, I mean,
know. It's amazing how this fuel of energy kind of works like that. It's it can go either positive or negative. The same thing happens when people do positive things too. It's kind of bubbles this thing up.
Mm-hmm. Because when you respond to one comment, not even just you, and everyone, then you have all the people watching who want you to respond to them. So then you get a huge flush of comments.
Okay.
But especially if it's a negative comment and you show your reaction, then people will go crazy over that. Because a lot of people, they don't even acknowledge a negative comments. They'll just ignore it.
Yeah.
And I think it's sometimes better to acknowledge it, but sometimes it's better to not acknowledge it, you know?
Yeah, you're probably right. I do. I guess they call it. That's a good point. You know, because I go to other rooms and like I'll say stuff, and you know, the commenter really, I mean, doesn't respond to anyone. I mean, maybe like one or two people. That's it.
Yeah.
And definitely not anything nasty. But they also don't get the amount of nasty. The issue with me is that the people that are being nasty, including the trolls that don't know, that I know them all. They're not random. Like I know, like you know, you've been here. Like I know these people because they were our supporters, and then they flipped around because they found out like that Joy was her job, and really that's what it comes down to. It's this weird sort of thing, and you know this is the case, and Joy knew this would be the case. That once people found out, which they would, she knew it would happen. That's why she wasn't really fond of doing like big social, like being real popular on social media, because he knew that half the people would be like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you?" You know, and half the people support her and don't care. But the other half, that's why we have the divide of the hate. Now, the hate comes from me is primarily from the women that were all like all of our family friends, and now they're just like, you know, I don't think they ever really liked me to begin with. I just think they just pretended to. But that's just
So
my thought.
you think that the hate towards you is from people who know you personally?
No, the hate from me comes from well, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know. That's a good question. Where does it come from? I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, the reason why I hesitate to talk because I'd be overstepping. I mean, I know what I think in my head, but what I think in my head, I have no evidence of. I just think it.
Oh well,
so,
well
as you're
let's hear
asking
it.
me, why do they hate me the most? Because they hate me the same reason why I was hated as a kid. I'm different. Can we agree that I'm different?
Yes, we
Okay.
can agree on that.
Now, different isn't something that happened yesterday or even today. Different happened when I was born. I mean, I was born into a household where we lived in an all-white neighborhood in 1970s. Do you know what that means? You don't. Oregon
I
was
can imagine it.
okay, but just think about this. 1970s is when I was born in '68, so I'm like 3-4 years
Yeah.
old. I'm like learning about the world in the '70s in Oregon, which is, by the way, behind the time. So for them, it's like 10, 15 years. It's like 1950 for Oregon, right? There's not a single. Everyone speaks English. We're the ethnic family. We're the weirdos. So I know what racist hate feels like, because what it is that people hate us because we're different, very different, and they really hate me. Well, because they liked me at first, and then they found out I'm just different than them. I don't know. Why do people hate people? You help me out with that. That's a good question. I mean, because I haven't done anything to them. I mean, like literally, they'll come in here, they'll make up. They say that I lie. They say that I'm a liar. Yet every day they'll come in and tell another lie about us that I have to disprove.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, when you respond to the lie and try to prove that the lie,
Yeah.
then you're gonna get more people trying to get you to prove another lie. You know, it's like
Yeah.
a vicious cycle.
Yeah. It's a
But
little
actually,
trick they
one
do.
time, it was like a few months ago, maybe more than a few months ago. But it was way back when you had the moderators like Peggy, and the other one.
Right. That would be like 4 months ago, back in May.
Yeah, that's what about when I first started watching, and there was someone asking what happened to them in the chat, and then I
Yeah.
responded that you banned them because they were doing all this stuff and you got rid of them. But then I remember you read my comment and you got so mad that I said I banned them, and you were saying
I?
I'm spreading lies. Yeah,
Oh.
you were pissed off.
That was you?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean-
honestly, well, you see what you just described. I told you. Okay, what I told you was from the time I was born, I was hated because I was different. Because of the neighborhood. It was 1970s. 5 years prior to me being born, black people couldn't get married to a white person or vote. They couldn't vote.
Wait, what?
You heard me. Black people
People
couldn't
couldn't
vote.
vote?
You didn't know
in the
black people?
70s?
Not until the 60s.
Really? Is that true? I thought that was before. I'm not so.
No, I'm not.
read-
I'm not. I'm just letting you know that. So when you so I'm trying to describe to you, you have a hard time seeing like why would anyone hate you because your mom speaks Spanish? That seems ridiculous to you in 2024. But back then, black people were not even equal to white people. They weren't allowed to vote. A black person couldn't marry a white person. It was illegal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are just crazy shit, right? Places
Yeah,
for segregation. I mean, this is like I was born in the 70s, but we were like behind in the time, and still those were federal laws that they had to pass to get people to allow black people to use the same drinking fountain. Okay, but just because you pass a federal law doesn't mean like 1 year later or 5 or 10 years later those racist people in Oregon are going to be all cool with it. They're still like hating it. They're still hating, and they're still hating people like my mom and her kids. In my case, me. So what I'm saying to you is I apologize for lashing out at you, but yeah, I feel like especially back then, when it was like a traumatic syndrome, like where all these people were just basically hating on us because we were different and we acted different and looked different, and so it just reminded me of a childhood. So it just felt like everyone, because back then it was everyone like literally made a circle around me. I was in the center, and they would basically, you know, throw shit at me and tease me and tell me they're going to kill my sister. And that was their fun. And so, right. And so that happened to me when I was young all the time. So, and then as I got into high school, you know, it's like everyone thought I was, you know, not everyone. I was kind of more of a, hung out with the punk rockers, but the problem was that I was really smart. So I was a scholar, and I was also on the varsity soccer team. So I was kind of like a mess, you know what I mean? I didn't really fit in with the punks because you know I really, you know, I wanted to go make money. I wanted to get good grades, make money, and plus I was an athlete, and I didn't fit in with the athletes and the jocks because I liked the ideas of the punks. I liked hanging out with them more. You know, I didn't really like hanging out with the jocks. So, but I like playing sports.
I don't get along with the punks either. They don't like me very much in the punk scene.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What's the punk scene like now? Now, the punk scene back then, the punks called me a poser, just so you know.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because
of your business type of thing?
All because I love The Clash. I love the band The Clash, which, by the way, I think you probably even know who The Clash is. Do you know The Clash?
I've heard, but I don't know. I don't listen.
Yeah, but you've heard the name, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, but their point is that they're mainstream. In fact, you in 2020.
Wait, did they do Rock the Casbah?
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
So, right. But they never sold out. You haven't seen it in an Avis car rental commercial or anything yet, have you? No. So they're still holding on. But as you know who they are, and that was my favorite band in 1984. But you see, people could tell they were going to be popular. Like, you know who they are. Like you don't know the other bands to be punk, you couldn't be into a mainstream band that was kind of going against the whole thing. You know what I mean?
It's the same way with like the goth and emo people. It's all the same with the bands you listen to.
Yeah.
It's such a huge deal.
And it's such a huge defining on who you are.
Yeah, especially.
Like they ask what music you like, not because they want to listen to your music, but they want to define you.
That's still true, actually. Yeah.
Well, you know, it works because, you know, if you think about it, you mentioned Instagram puts a lot of images, but if you think about it, music puts a lot of visual images in your brain from the words.
What do you mean exactly? Like,
what I mean is like when
when
Taylor Swift is talking about like, you know, short skirt, t-shirt, you know, tight little skirt, you get a vision of that without a picture. Oh, sweet. So what I'm saying is that if you listen to like that song saying like t-shirt, tight skirt, whatever, you know, I don't know the words exactly. You know what song I'm talking about?
Oh, I know.
Taylor's song where she says like
yeah,
short
I know
little.
that song.
She's describing how she looks. Okay, I'm just getting that because that just came to my head. So if you listen to that a lot, you might be inclined to buy a t-shirt and a short skirt, to where, you know, whatever she was describing. You see what I'm saying? Because you listen to it all the time, the words and the visualization, and you like the song. Just like if you listen to like some goth stuff that says like some really, you know, like some messed up stuff, you'd be like, okay, well, they're obviously into that sort of shit. I used to be into a band called The Cure. Do you know who they are?
Oh, everyone knows The Cure.
Okay. They kind of went mainstream. But back in the day, they weren't mainstream. And they were like the weird band. You know what I mean? And that's what I was into. And they had a song, it was called Shake Dog Shake.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I didn't think you did. I'm only mentioning it because if you want to listen to some cool shit, that song is cool because I had no idea what it was talking about until like about 10 years ago. It's about cutters. And I had no idea because I didn't know what a cutter was back in 1986.
What are like the lyrics? Like what they say?
The dog is shake, dog, shake. Step into the new blood, and you'll see your life so clearly in the pain. I don't know. It's very artistic. You have to listen to the music together. It's not so much it's very artistic, but it's basically like he describes himself as this person, you know, that is living. He's a wealthy person. And lives in this house, but nobody understands his pain. He cuts himself in the bathroom, and and the lyrics are like, and you know, and what you want to do is you want to just make sure you cut yourself so when the maid comes in, you look like really good for her to clean up the mess.
Oh,
it was really messed up. That was the lyrics to that song. And
I like
know,
that.
But I kind of got it. But it was like he was just like because he had all this money, he had all this stuff, but he was empty and lonely inside. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You say I want my maid to see me bleed, not his mom. He wanted the maid to see him bleed. You know?
That's so interesting.
And then the lyrics go on to say, so shake, 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 dog, shake, shake. It's just like imagining like a dog just shaking off the water. I don't know, it's just a weird visualization. So that's
They're
what
great.
we were doing. I know, this is the sort of shit we did in 1985. See, because we didn't have computers, we didn't have live streaming. So we sat with each other like this, and we would analyze these freaking words and these songs and these lyrics, and they were really weird back then. They've toned them down since.
My favorite type of alternative music, it's got to be Skinny Puppy is my favorite.
No way.
Favorite. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw them their last tour last year. It was so funny.
They must be old. They're like older than me.
They are old. I'm so sad.
Do you know they went on to do another band called Ministry? The guy.
Oh yeah, one of them was in Ministry.
Now that band's weird because they had some like, I mean, they just talk about change. I mean, they sound one way one year and the next, I mean, completely different.
And the singer, he did Ogre, which is way more like not like pop, but way more like easier to listen to, you know.
I know. That's what I was exactly thinking. I was like, how could this be Ministry's guy?
Right.
When you say easy
They're
listening,
special.
for those of you who don't know what she's talking about, it's not like easy listening. It's like, how could this be the same person? But then you kind of think the same thing when you go from Skinny Puppy to Ministry.
For real, you should listen to Ogre.
Okay.
It's awesome.
I will do that tonight.
Me too.
Me too. Me too. I love it. Cool. Man, I haven't thought about that. You know, okay, what's happened to me right now, see, Skinny Puppy for me was in the late 80s, okay? So this was after the Clash. Clash was already broken up. Skinny Puppy and Ministry and those bands, those were the precursors to rave music.
Yes, yeah.
Right? I mean, they were the DJs. I mean, but they weren't DJing, but it was like they were converting dance music into something else, you know?
Yeah, like electronic.
Electronic, yeah, thank you. Electronic, yeah, they were the electronic guys. Oh, cool. Okay, thank you. So yeah, so you brought back a really good memory when I was in Santa Barbara, going to college there, and I was really into Vespas and the mods. Do you know what the mods are?
Mm-mm.
Do you know what quadrophenia is?
No.
Like, no way. There's no way you would know what that is. But a lot of people in this room do. And quadrophenia is a movie, okay, by The Who, the band The Who. You've heard of The Who, right?
No.
Classic rock, The Who. Okay, maybe not.
Sorry, I don't like classic rock.
You don't have, I mean,
Sorry.
it's kind of, yeah, I guess not. I guess it's just one of those things that I just felt like they'd be teaching it to you in school or something, but I don't know.
They don't teach you in school.
You know what? They also don't teach you that trees are real and that you should hug them.
Oh, that's true. I never heard that from my teachers.
Never
No.
told me that.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna go get your glasses. Here's your ice.
People are saying this is not making me popular. I'm not trying to be popular.
Oh,
If I was trying to be
You know
popular,
what? Okay, just so you know. Okay. Alyssa, I've been doing this for a little while. When a hater says something out of the blue, like, this won't make you popular, what they're saying is, this is making you popular. This is making people like you. But they can't stand it. And so just like when they come on and they say, oh my God, you're so ugly, gross. They don't mean so ugly, gross. They mean, oh my God, you're so interesting, I can't stop watching you.
I mean, I don't think this is gonna make me popular. I understand that. I'm just saying, like,
It doesn't matter if it does. They were just trying to get your goat because they know that you would be offended by that statement. Because
no, but I'm really not offended because I have no want to be popular.
Exactly,
That's
it's not true.
A childish thing to desire popularity.
Thank you so much. Well put. Well put. I would say being on here. Actually, they have a good point. This would probably make you less popular, because
I would agree.
As you said, that you come in this room. Like, I look at other rooms, they don't have the sort of troll hate that we got, right? I mean, they probably ban their people, don't let them back in. I always let them back in.
Oh yeah.
I can't help it, Alyssa. I might need help with this. You pointed out something earlier to me that bugged me, which was true. That maybe I am causing all this.
I do think you contribute with your reactions, because your reactions, I don't know if you ever looked back on your old lives when the hate happened.
Only on a few of them. If it's something where but most of the time I just like I'm in a raw emotion, and so I don't want to. It's like two things. But I don't want to filter myself.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I mean, I know it'd be better for the channel. It'd be better for everything, but isn't that what everybody does?
True. It's just like it really feeds into the cycle of more negativity.
Yeah. I agree.
Also,
I'm
a lot of people are saying I'm a kid, I'm a minor,
Yeah.
I'm lying about my age.
Don't worry
I'm
about that.
20 and I showed my ID earlier. So if you
So
need to prove it, go
Yeah.
check out earlier, because I'm not a
Exactly.
minor. Just need to clear that up.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Alyssa, for clearing that up. They get
Yeah.
people in here. They try to say weird. But by the way, now how did you get on this stream? Are you coming through what? Through Streamlabs or YouTube or what?
Well, it says Streamlabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, just click that link in the Twitch chat.
I mean, don't they have like something on Streamlabs? Like you have to be a certain age to even have that app on your phone?
Yeah, but they say that about YouTube and Instagram, and there's no real age verification for that. You can just say whatever age you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But I really am 20, so.
No. My point is that yeah, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I guess they did exactly what they tried to do. They you were saying that if we read their comments, then we get a little derailed.
True. Like, I mean, like now, you're not really reading the comments.
You were literally just telling me that
we're
sometimes,
chill.
like in your comment when I yelled at you, which by the way, you know I'm sorry about that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I can't believe. What did you say again?
I just said that you banned the old moderators
Oh,
because
man.
someone asked before what happened to them.
Man, I was really wound up tight. Yeah.
You could
I'm
say
feeling much
that.
better now. I'm feeling much better. Like, okay, there's nothing really that we went from like having like 0 people kind of like around us, right, and like a handful of people on YouTube, to having like 25,000 like overnight, like, and like the phone ringing constantly, and like, you know, hundreds of people in the rooms all the time, and we still garner like 60 people in the room after like tell everybody to fuck off, and that's kind of, I mean, but we didn't mean to. It's just that until it happens to you, we're old. Maybe when you're younger, it would be easier for you to deal with that sort of like boost of popularity and boost of like, whoa, all this influx of energy. But when you're old like me, it was a big transition, and there was no way for me to prepare for it other than to just go through it and make the mistakes that I made. Like, for example, like with you, like I yelled at you, I yelled at I made a lot of mistakes along the way. But there was no other way. Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed worse back then when the whole moderator situation was happening, because it was like every week a new moderator there was a betrayal with a new moderator very often.
Well, that was a source of a lot of our issues, was that. But so I mean, it's not like I was crazy. I mean, I wasn't just like making stuff up like that weird. Like, I mean, there was a lot of weird shit that was going on that was causing me to bubble up. Obviously now, you know, as we grow larger and we continue to grow, I'm getting more used to the numbers, used to the, you know, as people said, as you get over 100,000, you keep getting bigger and bigger, the hate gets stronger and stronger.
True. And I saw you like totally grew crazily in subscribers. Like
Crazy. I know.
super quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to continue growing, and it's all a part of everything that's gone on. I mean, everything that kind of went on, because you saw the channel. You came on during the bulimia stuff, but how many subscribers did we have when you started watching us?
I think it was like maybe, I don't know, like 20,000 or something like that. Like,
right. So we just started blowing up right around then, and there were a couple of things that happened that made us keep blowing up further and further. One of them was the pancake thing. Like,
yes, actually, you know what happened? I saw you first from the eating disorder video, but then I didn't really go check out the channel. I found your channel again through YouTube Shorts, and I saw the pancake video.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, you're the guys that made that with the one video. So then I started checking it out. So
right.
Yeah, that pancake video was crazy.
Mm-hmm. It was raw. It was raw.
Yeah. True rage. You don't see that type of rage on YouTube. No.
No, Joy. That's why I learned my first couple of years with Joy. Like, she's very, very serious. You know, she's military.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes down to certain things, I mean, she doesn't get crazy about, like, I mean, she's so laid back on everything else. It's like, oh, you want to be bulimic? Go ahead. Oh, you want to do cocaine? Oh, okay, go ahead. Da-da-da-da, you know? But there's certain things, like right now with Annette, now we have new rules, you know what I mean? This is like, but there are certain things that just set her off, and one of them is parenting. So that's where you sense that from. And obviously, she has a lot of personal experience with her mother, her stuff going on. So there's just a lot of stuff about bad moms that just drives her crazy. So...
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I saw that, like, a lot of people, they're like, oh, this is the worst thing. How could you treat someone this way?
Yeah.
And before I even knew about the whole situation, I was thinking, like, you don't know what happened. Just because someone is older doesn't make them, like, I mean, no one really deserves to be screamed at, like, until maybe sometimes people do deserve to be screamed at, but you don't know the situation from a video. And I saw the video, and I'm like, I know I felt that type of rage before. I know I've said worse things to people. Like, no, I didn't throw a pancake at someone, but like maybe I would have if I had a stack of pancakes in front of me during that rage moment.
Yeah.
You know, people like to think that, oh, never in 1,000 years would I be like that. But I feel like maybe do a little more introspection, because people have rage. I'm sure you've had rage.
Me?
Like,
Yes, definitely.
not you, I'm talking to the people. Yes, you, but other people who say
Yeah,
that.
out there. Well, that's the thing, is that the reason why I posted it was because, well, like, for example, it evoked an emotion inside of you. That's one reason. He said, oh, wow, I can feel that. Secondly, that if you have that situation in your house where you have had, explosive rage like that, or you have had fighting, to be like, hey, man, we get it. We're there too, but let's make it constructive. Let's show how we can do it. It's like if every video was us yelling at Gloria, yeah, I could see their point why this would be a toxic channel. It was like one video and then a second video, a follow-up video like a month later. That was it, but that was showing like what needed to be done and how they interact. Like you said, just because you're old doesn't mean like everything you do is cool,
Yeah.
In fact, often the ideas of older people are messed up. And it's the younger people that have to rebel against the older people's ideals in order for society to move forward. So if everyone just agrees with their parents 100%, society doesn't move forward at all. It doesn't change. We go back to 1950, back when black people couldn't vote. You think that those people were cool? I mean, why should we be cool with those 70-year-olds that were all for racism, that voted against black people being able to vote? Just because they got old doesn't suddenly make them non-racist, right? But in the 1970s, they were still in existence. They were still alive, 60, 70 years old, being racist because they were around in the 60s. They were the ones who didn't want the black people to vote. But now they're over 65, and now you're telling me, oh, we can't tell them that they're a bunch of assholes? Fuck that. You're racist. You're misogynist. You're terrible people. Your entire generation is fucked up. So I have no problem talking bad to the upper generations because we are the ones who are making the change for the future. They are the ones who fucked it up.
Well, did Gloria vote against black people not being able to vote?
Okay, listen, Gloria's issue was not about black people. No, because she's a little bit older, but yes, she is very racist. Because she comes from that era, okay? She's Panamanian. It's different down there.
Tell me about what's different. Like,
why is it different? Because racism, I mean, we're American. I mean, first of all, she was growing up in the 60s where racism was legal. It was legal to segregate black people. So yeah, that makes you a little bit different. So her ideals and the way you were raised make you different. Now, of course, she's changed, she's learned whatever, but if you were raised with these ideas thinking that, oh, black people drink over there and we drink over here. I mean, that's a little hard to undo out of your brain for 15, 20 years of your life.
I understand that. Mm-hmm.
So my point is that even though you act like you're not racist, you act like you're not misogynist, the older generations are. And they'll hide it because they have to. Some of them don't, by the way, but for the most part, they have to. They act the way, but they were born into a racist and a misogynistic society, trained by racist, misogynistic parents. And the teachers and everybody up until the time when they made it illegal. And then even then, they were like, I voted against it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, it really does depend, like, where you're raised is such a huge thing with your mindset forever. But some people can change it. Like, my family, some people in my family are they're racist people.
Of course. You're in Maryland.
Yeah. Maryland is actually like a pretty liberal state.
I thought Baltimore was kind of an issue.
Well, Baltimore, it's like highest murder rate ever in the world.
I know, it's a big deal. Do you ever see The Wire?
No, I never watched that.
It takes place in Baltimore.
Oh, actually? Or is it just like pretending to be in Baltimore?
Real Baltimore. Man, you gotta watch it. HBO series. It's a classic. It's great.
Oh my gosh, okay.
No, they use real actors. No, not real actors. They took real people, real gangsters, trained them how to act and put them in the movie. It's not a movie, it's a series on HBO.
Okay, I have to watch that. I didn't know.
It's really cool, and it's all in Baltimore. Because what it is that a journalist from the Baltimore Sun studied this thing for like 10 years and wrote all this stuff about the shit that you talk about, the murders. Well, before that, there's huge drug things going. I'm sure it's still an issue, but just crazy crime. This journalist infiltrated and wrote all these stories and came up with this stuff, and that's what The Wire is all his stories from what he encountered, all these people. It's fascinating, and if you're, if you live there, I would definitely watch it.
Okay, I mean, yeah, because I'm not even very far from Baltimore. It's like pretty close, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so the whole thing is that no, think about it though. You and I, or not you and I, but me and, not even me and Joy, but me and my friends, okay? We have certain ideals that we were trained in 1980s that don't vibe in 2025, okay? For example, Me Too is an example. 1980, Me Too didn't exist. But those guys still had that sort of mentality, right?
Yeah.
Even though they don't slap the secretary on the butt at the office anymore, they still were doing that like 2 years ago. Does that make sense? Or 20 years ago. They still like were raised with that sort of ideology of da-da-da-da. And that's my gen. And that's why I don't hang out with those guys anymore.
Yeah, I mean, so many people, even like people my age, like they do have racist beliefs and thoughts, and not just racism, but all the stuff that would get you like canceled, like they say. But they just are better at not putting it out there because they know other people are not going to be cool with that. But it's still very much an issue.
Yeah, it's very much. Yeah, it's more complicated now more than ever, I think.
Yeah, actually.
Back in the day, it was pretty clear. It was because you know why? Because racists were very honest. They had no problem I'm a racist. They literally would tell you. Are you kidding? They would not. If they didn't tell you, they would use words to let you know they were. That was their thing. And they let you know they weren't cool with certain shit, and you just like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I'll take those guys. Okay, we'll talk about bad generations. I'll take those guys over the pansies today who are still racist, like the women that come in here and bash my wife. They're misogynists, but pretend like they're not. I'll take those racists from the 1970s over these ones today that pretend to be these great, caring, wonderful people while hating and being misogynistic, racist people. Because I can't tell you're racist. I mean, I can, but you go around acting like you're not. And that's the part that bugs me.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people like that. Like,
yeah.
I know
in this
like
room,
that.
right now, in this room, those people are who I'm describing, and they know who I'm talking about.
It's all a huge performance when you go out, and especially when you are even saying like, I'm not racist. I'm the most not racist person out there. It's like, why do you feel the need to say that and put that out there so much? Is it because that may not be the truth? Like, it seems like you're trying to compensate for something else.
Because I think deep down inside, okay, unless we all are prejudiced, okay?
That's
because
true.
we're born into a certain way of thinking. Now, if you associate with a religion, you literally declare, I'm better than you, right? Because Christianity says, I'm saved, you're not. Well, isn't that better? Isn't it better to be saved than not saved? Yeah. Isn't it better to be chosen than not chosen? Right. So I'm better than you. So as soon as you sign up, that's my issue with the religion. As soon as you sign up for these religions, you immediately telling the world, and you sign up for it because you want to tell everybody that you're better than you.
Yeah, I never was like raised Christian. I mean, I was technically raised Christian, but like it wasn't such a huge deal. So I kind of just like.
And that's the way it mostly is for most people.
Yeah, like.
It's just kind of like, hey man, do unto others, be cool. Kind of like how Jesus was. Jesus was like, dude, chill out, everybody.
Right. That's what Jesus said.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm. He was so fucking cool. He said, look, listen, I'm the son of God, and we're just going to chill out. We're going to have a good time. And people didn't like that. And he said, no, you don't got to be slaves no more. You don't listen to the king. And what he did was he didn't even have to pay taxes. He said, fuck the king. Well, how do you think that went over when the son of God said, fuck the king? Right. Not so cool.
No.
So he kind of got ousted. So he hung out with who else was ousted? Do you know who else was ousted? Hookers.
Who?
Hookers, prostitutes, and brothels. So Jesus spent his time from the age of 14 to 33 when he returned in brothels and with tax collectors.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
I
it's in
never
the
heard about
Bible.
that.
Yeah, they usually don't talk about it because they don't want to associate, like, Jesus. How could Jesus be so cool with hookers? In fact, some people say there's this rumor, and have you heard of Mary Magdalene?
Yes.
Okay, do you know who Mary Magdalene is? Because I don't.
Not really.
Neither do I exactly, but I'll tell you what I know. In case you knew exactly, I'll let you go. But what I understand is that Mary Magdalene was a prostitute, and that was Jesus' girlfriend. And that's why he hung out in the brothels all the time.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe didn't she read the Bible like 100 times?
Oh yeah, no. Joy is the one who told me that part. The Mary Magdalene stuff, that stuff is like speculation. I'm not sure how much of that is in the Bible, but there's like that stuff. There's movies about that and stories about that.
Wow.
Like I don't think she knows much about Mary Magdalene. I think that's a something. That's like the sequel to the Bible, part 3. What was Jesus really? But the fact is that no one really knows 100% because you have baby Jesus, right? And then at age 13, when he hits puberty, you never hear from him again until 33 when he gets crucified, and he comes back. Well, he spends like a year doing shit, like turning water to wine, all this weird shit, because he had to come back. He had to prove to everybody. He's like, they didn't believe that he was God. He'd been hanging out with these hookers all the time. Like, you're not God. He's like, oh yeah, look at this, water, wine, boom.
Boom.
Yeah, I know. I mean, today it wouldn't trip anybody out, but think about it. If you had someone today, they'd be like, hey, see this parsley right here? Boom. High grade premium weed. You'd be like, shit, Jesus, you're fucking cool. Right?
Oh my God.
It's like vitamin pills? Fuck that. Here. Boom. It's cocaine.
My friend, she's been going to church more recently, and it's weird because she never cared about church before, but now she's going to church sometimes.
Oh, cool.
And some guy also at the church, she got asked by him if like she smokes weed, and she said, yeah, I'd be smoking weed. And he got so angry at her, and he didn't talk to her again.
Wow. Well, she weeded him out.
Good one.
Wow. Well, yeah. Well, that's the problem with church, you see, because what happens, not church, that's a problem with cults. I'm not talking about church. A cult could be a corporation. It could be your work. In other words, she thinks something's cool, right? Now, she got a reaction from somebody in the cult that would be like shunning her from the cult. Like, I'm not talking to you anymore. Now, to be shunned is isolation. There's nothing worse than being neglected. That's a form of abuse. Did you know that?
That's what they do in the Amish communities. Like, it's such a huge thing to get shunned in the Amish communities.
Right. And okay, you can go to federal prison, right? You could be a 10 times murderer. You go to federal prison, you're hanging out in general populace. You got no problem. You're having fun. What's the worst punishment they give you? Electric chair? No. They're begging for the electric chair. What do they fear the most? Isolation. Right? Spend
Yeah.
10 years in a room like this by yourself with nothing. Just staring at white walls for 10 years.
It makes people go crazy.
Right.
That's such a problem.
That's
people...
another issue. That it should be illegal. However, you see what your friend did to your other friend at the church. They used that same tactic. Obviously, they put her in isolation. But if everyone joined together and stopped talking to her, she would feel very isolated.
Yeah. I mean, definitely.
So it's not just the four walls. See, people go to prison all the time with no problem, right? I mean, they leave and they want to go back. They've been institutionalized because the four walls don't bother you. But four walls with no people, that's enough to make you go fucking insane. I mean, that's the worst torture you could do somebody. They have no problem hanging out with their buddies. I mean, they'll do it all day long. Not a big deal. That's not a punishment. Did you know that? Prison's not really a punishment.
Well, I guess it depends.
It depends on what? It depends on if you have something worth living for on the outside.
Yeah, But I feel like most people, before they go to prison the first time, they probably do have something.
Exactly.
But
The
once
first
you go
time.
in,
After
yeah.
that, all bets are off. So the prison system doesn't work because you see, all you need is to do one thing, and everything is screwed. Now it's like, well, it's like a toss-up. So what you've created is, instead of reforming somebody by putting them in prison, you've turned them into a hardened criminal. Because now they're like, shit, is it better to follow the rules, or should I mean, it doesn't matter if I go back to jail now. So now you got a guy who don't give a fuck whether he goes back to jail. That's way more dangerous than a person that's scared to go to jail.
True.
And that's caused by our prison system. I mean, by that first thing, because you take away everything they have, and after that, they've got a record, they can't get a job. I mean, they're screwed. They're basically a criminal. They're working at 7-Eleven. That's it.
You think that they do that on purpose to like keep the people in prison? I don't know.
Of course. Well, think about it. We didn't have this prison population until slavery ended. We didn't have police the way we have policing today. There's no such thing as them until slavery ended. They got local police. Okay, you had a whole industry of slavery, right? Mm-hmm. And this is why they're all black people in jail, just so you know. You had a whole industry of slavery and slaves. Well, you had people trading them, buying them, selling them, and training them and punishing them, this whole people. Well, what did those guys do when Lincoln ended slavery? What did their jobs become? Cops. They became, because what happened is you freed the slaves. Now all the people down south are afraid of these black people are going to come like blah, 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 blah. So what do? The slave masters got no jobs because there's no slaves. So they make them cops. And what do the slave jobs, what do the cops' jobs do? Is to go catch the freed slaves and put them back in a cage.
True.
And it happens today.
They would make up some stupid, arbitrary, like, little tiny thing, like, oh, you're walking on the wrong side of the sidewalk as a black person.
I don't think it really back then. I don't even think they even had to come up with anything. But yeah, but really, but just in general, okay, let's just say, think about it. You had all these slaves in your town, right? And they were chained up. And they're mad. And now Lincoln freed them. And now they can walk around and do whatever they want. And they're big. And you've been whipping them, right? And you whip their parents. And you whip their parents' parents, right? You can imagine how you would feel having those guys walk around as they walk up to you in the street. You're scared, right? So you call your slave master, who's now the cop, I need protection from these guys. Because you're just afraid of all black people because you know you're guilty. I mean, the black people are just happy to be free. They're probably not even thinking shit. But the white people who are guilty, who did all the enslaving, well, they were afraid, so they had to invent cops. And then the cops arrested the black people and put the black people back in jail. And so now we have a whole institution of prisons that are overfilled with primarily black people. Okay, again, I'm going to bed too. I'm just kind of wrapping up here too.
I mean, I can imagine, like, I don't know what, like, they did, like, because everyone, like, worked in prison. I don't know what they were doing back then in prisons as work, but I imagine it's, like, almost the same stuff that they had the slaves do. Just so they can still...
Exactly. Well, the thing is that you're not supposed to have, in America, our prisons aren't supposed to be for profit. Right?
Oh, no, but they, like, it's so obvious they totally are.
They totally
It's
are,
so-
because...
Extremely.
Even
like, just the tiniest, like, pack of Doritos is, like, $10 for a little pack of Doritos in prison. It's so stupid.
It's a scam, right? The whole thing, the moneymaker. Because you know what? Also, the big reason why they're mad about like weed being legal, they don't want cocaine. By the way, cocaine is pretty much legal in New York City. I don't know if you know this. Like they pretty much decriminalized it.
Oh, yeah, I got offered cocaine just walking around New York. People like,
yeah, no,
some...
it's not a dangerous drug. It's not going to kill you. I mean, it's gonna take all your money and zap a lot of your friends and shit like that. But it's not going to kill you. People don't die from it. Because if they did, they'd be dying every weekend in New York City. Like 1,000 people dying.
Yeah, it's
my
crazy.
But my point is that that the reason why there are people that lobby to have things made illegal, whether it's drugs, prostitution, or whatever it is, because they want more people in prison. And today, the prisons are filled with 90% are drug offenses, nonviolent.
90%?
90% nonviolent. I mean, the violent crimes, you hear about it on the news. Think about it. And you hear about it like once every day. And by the way, you usually hear about it, it's like, oh, somebody in Baltimore killed someone, right? Something heinous. But for the most part, the prisons are filled with people that have drug offenses.
Damn, 90% is crazy.
Domestic violence and drug offenses. Because domestic violence and drugs usually go hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
You're using
I
drugs,
had
and then you get mad.
The cops came to my house so many times.
What?
Because a long time ago, my parents never really lived together, but whenever they'd be around each other, the cops were called. So I've had to talk to the cops many times.
Okay.
And it's never been a good situation.
So you're the child here of a situation.
Yeah, a few situations.
A few situations.
Mm-hmm.
You seem very adult.
Thank you.
No, I
Thank
mean
you
that's like Joy. Like how Joy is the same way because her family, she had to become an adult very fast.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're talking to cops, well, that's not something that kids are usually do. I mean, you grow up real fast. You learn real quick because they like. I mean, even as you can't help but to grow up immediately and turn into an adult when you're getting interrogated by a cop. Right? I mean, because you like, wow, okay. I thought. I mean, you no longer think that life is about Barney and about playing Barbies. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. There's a reality out there, and these guys are not nice, and they're taking mommy and daddy away.
Sometimes I wish they would take them away, but they never did. They never took them away.
They never did?
So, no.
Just
almost.
Well, fortunately, my household, my parents did not have any. My dad was very, very much a pacifist. He's the kind of guy who would be like, if he was on here, it would be the opposite. You guys would all love him because he doesn't. Because even if you insulted him, he wouldn't get mad. He would just ignore it.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of how I am. I feel like
because
it's just
you're an
easier.
adult. You're an adult. You learned that's how most people. That's how people survive, and that's what everyone tells me I should do. But I'm like you know how like when you have when you have a parent, they raise you a certain way, and like let's say your parent is like really OCD perfect. You might not be so OCD perfect. Well, maybe that's not true. Never mind. My theory.
It really totally depends. Like the way you're raised with your parents, as long as you're going out and seeing other stuff, it can mean nothing or everything to you. Like it all is how you take it.
Yeah. Right on.
Right on.
I don't know which. Is this mic working? Am I chomping in your ear?
You sound good.
Okay, I don't know if this mic is on. If I'm going to the thing. Well, I'm so hungry.
Have you heard about Chris Chan?
Who's that?
Chris Chan? He is like... Actually, it's Christine Chan now. So, she is a YouTuber, and she got arrested a bit ago, and now she's out of prison now.
Oh.
She's very prevalent on YouTube. It's a long story.
You should introduce me to her. Do you know her?
No, I don't. She's very, very famous, extremely.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, because I think she got so famous, because she was kind of in a similar situation to you with the comments, but not really. Like, her comments, she got very easily deceived by the comments, and she ended up like doing all the stuff that the comments told her to do. Like they would pretend to be her friends, and then they would put out her information and make her do all the stuff. She became very famous through that. But yeah, she would respond to the hate comments and make whole videos dedicated to
haters.
Yeah.
I know. Joy's like, what are you doing right now? Like, I'm busy. I have a thought in my head. I gotta get it out.
Well, it worked. It worked for Chris Chan. So, I mean, now everyone knows about Chris Chan. I'm surprised you haven't heard, because like everyone's heard.
Well, I don't get out much, like I said. Like you're my everyone right now. Do you see what I'm saying? As I'm coming, you've watched channel long enough to know that we just kind of were isolated for a long time. So now I've heard of Chris Chan because of you. Does that make sense? No. So down the road, like someone told you about Chris Chan, you probably don't remember who it is. See, everyone, like there was a time when everyone who knows who Chris Chan is there was a time when they didn't know who that person was, right?
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So someone had to tell them, or they found it through the YouTube stream or something. Well, you're my YouTube stream. You're the person who told me. So now I do know about Chris Chan. So now you can't say, I can't believe you haven't heard about it.
What can I say?
So we had a first.
I know much.
You know much.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we figured out this thing right here.
Yeah, it's
this
fun.
Is great.
I think.
I mean,
if
I want to do
get
this
the
again,
chance
we can
to
do
do
this
it again,
again.
yeah,
You can hang out here. Sure.
I would love to, and I'll
really
prepare
cool.
some huge good questions. I have a whole sheet of questions that I have prepared. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, let me think. I should have some questions for you.
Please.
I don't know. I think just talk to Joy. I think that Joy really enjoyed the call. She was a little bummed when I went in there, and I could tell that she wasn't like wanting to. She's like, oh.
Really?
Yeah,
I felt like she wanted to go. Is what I. That's
no, but the fact that she even came out and talked to you for like, I mean, it's like, what time is it now? Yeah, she's past her bedtime. She's ready. It's like she's like ready for bed. So there's that, but also she just doesn't really like talking or engaging. But I could tell that she was really enjoying. She left in a lot better mood than before. So I think it was very therapeutic for her to connect with you.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, she needs some good. She needs friends that she can hang. You know the whole story. So we're getting there.
For people asking if I have a channel, I don't have a YouTube, but you can go to my Twitch, which is ALYZZAA. Alyssa
if you find healthy. Also, you could find Healthy Family Force, and her name is on there. Like it might be easier to find that if you can't spell it, because her name was weird to spell.
Yeah, it's just Alyssa, like my name here, but with Z's instead of S's.
How many
extra
Z's?
A at the end.
Okay,
2 Z's.
2 Z's. Okay, it was the extra A that made me think there was more than 1 Z. That's why I was like, it's confusing.
Yeah.
Alyssa,
maybe I should
someone
change
wrote
it.
it for you.
Oh yeah.
See, look. Hey, I know this wasn't your goal, but guess what? You're getting popular.
Whoa, I'm famous.
It's what happens when, you know what? Here's the thing. It's what happens when people watch you. And they're, I mean, they can't help but you're in their head now.
You got so many subscribers, but it's about the same amount of people in the lives that were from before I joined. What do you think's up with that?
Well, a lot of the subscribers are coming from a couple of videos. The video, my sister's, my main video, the what do you call it? Schizoaffective disorder one. Have you seen that one? It's the one that has like the most views. If you look at our most popular video, it's the most popular video on our page. And that one is growing. If you look at that, like every day, that one gets another like 10,000, 20. Hey, thank you, Astro Clover.
Hey.
Yeah! Come on, ready? Let's do it, Alyssa. Do a little dance.
I will not
make a little love. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. Do a little dance. Thank you so much, Clover.
Wow.
Yeah. So honestly, it's like people subscribe, watch the video, but overall our views are basically starting to come back up. So it's just kind of gradual. The live streams is a different kind. I don't know. The live streams, I don't know. I mean, someone said they changed the algorithm in August. because we used to get a lot more in July, and he was on a
Well,
channel
actually, yeah, I remember before there was like maybe like 40 to 60 average in the lives.
yeah,
But
it was,
now it's more than that. So
right. So right around August, okay, you're talking about like July when we were all blowing up and we had all these people in here, and we didn't handle it so well, and we told everybody to go leave us alone. And so basically we dropped in half. So we went down to, like you said, like instead of being like 120 to 150 all day or 170, we dropped down to like 50 to 60 and even down to 30 to 40 like in August. And I don't think that it was necessarily all to do with us. I think what happened was because someone in our room said that they're a moderator for another channel that has 250,000 subs, and they normally get between 300 people to 1,500, and now they're down to 30 to 300 people. Like they get up to 300, but you know, I mean, they have probably people, but still, they went from 1,500 to 300 on their top since August, and they didn't do anything wrong.
yeah, the lives are really weird. It's totally random. I feel like.
So,
with
but you
YouTube
see how someone was asking why we don't do StreamYard, and we use
it makes sense.
We use OBS because see, StreamYard would put this in a landscape version, right? It'd be the landscape. This is in portrait for cell phones. So this goes through the shorts feed, which I like. And the way you have to do it is you use OBS software.
Oh yeah.
So that I built this. That's why when we first got on, it wasn't working. I had to build it and design it. So we have this Collab cam on a handheld.
Oh yeah, because everyone like, I think pretty much only people find lives scrolling through the lives. So
They really do. And so if we're landscape, you have to know about the channel. You have to know to go there. But I think people do this all the time. So I figured that out. So that's why I built this. So someone was asking earlier, why we don't use Streamlabs. Because all the other software platforms make it, don't do the shorts format.
yeah, and that's like the biggest thing. I mean, that's
Right
how
now,
everyone do with the pancakes and all the stuff.
That's how you found us. That's how, in fact, I think it's about how 80 to 90% of our subscribers find us. Let's do that. Or did anyways.
Yeah.
And then the other subscribers, the ones that are growing right now, they're coming from that other video, which is great. I mean, it's just kind of like we're growing and it's all verified. I mean, people are saying that we're buying stuff. I mean, it's like, okay. Do you have any idea? I asked someone and they researched it on remember I was on Ava's call? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw some of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, well, I asked her because she asked the same question you just asked. And I said, okay, Ava, since you know so much about, like, she's saying, like, your views low, and she said you should have this many views, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, great. So just tell me, how much would it cost to buy 250,000 subs?
Probably a good bit.
Well, she researched it. It'd be like the cheapest you could get would be $1,200 would get you 50,000. So for me to get 200,000, that means I would have had to have spent $5,000, and it's still going up. So that means it'd be still like, where would I get this $5,000 to do that? So logically, it doesn't make sense.
I remember when I was younger, I had this Instagram account that I really wanted to get famous. So I was trying to find out how to get more Instagram followers.
Yeah.
And you could buy Instagram followers, or you could like do like surveys or like watch ads for followers. I think they probably have that with subscribers too, where you can get them for free. Like not free, but you know, not paying direct money.
But what subscribers are you talking about though? I mean, what are these when you say you get subscribers? What does that mean?
I don't know. I never went to try to buy subscribers, so I don't really know.
Right, so that's not a real person. See, what this is, I have a video that people are watching and they're hitting subscribe. That's all that's happening.
I mean, hey, subscribers.
Hey,
Did
man, I'm
you
working
get
on the
the
views. We're working on the views right now. We're doing. I mean, like, look, we're doing collab cam. You talked about some other people. I mean, I've got some other videos coming out. Our views are going up. They're just not like people want them to be. I mean, I want them to be huge, but guess what? You know those people that make like millions, of, like $10,000 a month on YouTube, and you see them, and they have like 2 million subscribers, and they're like, "Oh man, I got a check for $300,000." You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen that sort of thing, right? You're like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. Now, have you seen them start with 20,000 subs and get to 2 million? Have you seen them do that yet? Do you know what that looks like?
No, I mean,
Right.
I don't.
No one knows what it looks like. You only know, oh, these guys over here with 200,000, 300,000 subs have 1,500 in their room. Or these people over here with 1 million people are doing this. Right. You're seeing them after the fact, but you don't know how they got there. They might have been just like me right now and had to do something. You don't know that. Right? I mean, that's what I'm banking on. That hopefully, man, that the views will come is what I'm trying to say. Is that if we keep, building stuff, and like you and I are making better content than we were making before, because look, this is more interesting. You and I are talking.
Right.
To me, visually, I like looking at it. Like, you know what I mean? I like looking at, I don't know if I like the colors, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it looks more interesting.
What do you mean?
The teal, I don't know if I'm
colors.
crazy about, green. I don't know if I'm crazy about that teal.
This? Over there?
No,
there?
your room's fine. I'm talking about my overlay on the screen.
Oh, I feel like, I think the font is a problem.
The font's a little old school.
Yeah.
But then again, it's kind of cool. I kind of like it.
I like the font on my name. Well, actually, maybe I like the Joy. It says Joy over you, by the way.
I know, because she was on here earlier. This is supposed to be her cam.
Well.
Want me to change it? Okay, I'll change it.
Oh yeah, so did you get your play button yet?
Yeah, let me show it to you.
Oh yeah, I didn't see the reveal.
Hold on, let me This is the play button right here.
Oh right. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It looks good. It looks very good.
And so for those that say that we bought it, well, you see, YouTube shipped it to us. like you can't just call YouTube and have them ship you a plaque. You guys buy them on eBay from someone who gets them from YouTube and then ships it to you, right? Is that how it works?
I don't know. I don't think that when you buy a fake plaque, they are getting it from YouTube, because that'd be very labor intensive.
No, YouTube doesn't sell plaques to the general public.
No. I mean, like, if they were gonna get an official one and then sell that. But
well,
no, I think
I know how they do it, because I could do that. I could sell plaques.
Yeah,
See,
I mean,
no, because see, I can go online right now, and with this code right here, see that code? I can take that code with my account, put that code in, and I can order, but I have to pay for it. That one was free. But I can pay for plaques. I get as many as I want. Put whatever I want. I can put your name on it. And then I can sell it to you. So that's what they're getting. See, they buy it from people. I don't know if YouTube has a problem with it. I don't think they care. I mean, why would they care? If someone wants to buy a plaque, you know? It's like, but you see, I could sell them a plaque if I wanted to.
I mean, why don't you?
Because I'm not in the business of selling plaques.
I mean, it seems like it'd be pretty easy if YouTube does all the work.
I know, but there's other people doing that. They let them do that. That's their job. My point is, they said I bought the plaques. And it's just funny because I could actually sell the plaques. I could order as many as I want right now.
I feel like you should definitely be selling the plaques.
Okay. Why don't we order? As soon as I get a little money, I'm gonna make it, and we'll tell you what. Who should we give one to? Should we get one for Melinda Sue?
Yes. Get one for Melinda Sue. Get one for who else is there? Randy. Get one for Randy.
Okay, Randy. Well, Randy already got one. That's how I found out about how you get these plaques, because one of her people that comes in here, one of our haters, came in here and it was trying to prove that we bought the plaque by buying Randy a plaque as a joke. But you see, Randy didn't get one of these. She didn't get the YouTube box. You see, that's how you know it's fake. She also doesn't have the creator code either. So she had to go on eBay. So in other words, I could post something on eBay and say, hey, plaques for sale, Randy, Melinda Sue, if you want to order one, go ahead and send me $60 and I will order you a plaque from YouTube for you, have them put your name on it.
Only 60? I feel like it'd be more.
I didn't actually ever look about how much it cost because I wasn't ever going to order another plaque. I only want mine complimentary. I'm a cheapo.
I mean, because you're growing pretty steadily, I'd say. It's like every day.
Yeah.
It's like a good amount of subs every day. So pretty soon you should have the gold plaque.
Don't you think that'd be cool?
That would be cool.
I know.
And I don't know if there's like the diamond plaque. I don't know if that
There is a diamond plaque.
Yeah, okay.
No, they told me the plaques. They showed it to me.
Is it 10 million? The
it's
diamond?
10 mil. It's 10 mil.
Wow.
I know. I'm really bummed because see, we were really cruising. We had over 10 million subs for a while. It's 10 million subs. 10 million views, and it was really cracking. And then, but I think that what happened is just that Joy is pretty adamant. Like there's no way for us to keep that momentum, of energy forever. It was just eventually going to settle out a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way to keep all those people happy.
I mean, I feel like selling the plaques would be such a good way to get extra money. If I could sell the plaques...
Okay, you can't. Tell you what, I will look into it for you. Email me and you can sell it and then you can do it.
Okay.
You think people are going to buy them, really?
I mean, someone wants a plaque. Like, everyone...
I can get it as a joke, I guess.
As a joke, like, I think that'd be a hilarious gift to give to your friend, YouTube plaque. I think
Congratulations for passing 100,000 subscribers. Happy birthday!
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Joel! Congratulations
Joel?
for passing 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, or like a kid who wants to be a YouTuber. That's a perfect gift.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. I would do it if I could.
Yeah. Oh, look, your age has come up again. I see it.
Oh yeah, she's 20. She is 20.
She is 20.
That's so funny.
Man, you know what's weird is that, see, when I spend a lot of time by myself, because right now I'm looking at the screen with me and you next to each other, and now is when I realize how much that I look old. Like, when I'm by myself, I just see myself and I'm like, I don't gauge it. But now I say, oh shit, that's what a young person used to look like.
Wait, explain that, please. I didn't catch that.
You didn't catch that? Well, I'm looking at myself right now, and I'm seeing myself, like, compared to you. I can see that there's a huge age difference.
Oh, well, yes.
Well, I rarely see myself in comparison to another person.
Oh,
You
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so normally if I see myself, I'm usually next to my wife or people my age, my friends, but definitely not a stranger and not in video. And right now I'm watching, I'm like, wow, I can really see the difference. But now I'm actually, now I'm kind of adjusted to it. The shock is worn off, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so shocked. When I was younger, because I, like, had no friends, like, such a loser, had no friends, I would, go on, like, you know, Omegle and all this stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you know about Omegle?
What's that?
I'd spend a lot of time on there. Mm-hmm.
What is it?
You don't know Omegle? So, I think it's banned now, but, it was a thing where it's random video chat with just anyone on Omegle. And a lot of kids would, a lot of people were doing that. So I've talked to a lot of people much older than me when I was young. I'm still young, but I was very young.
Yeah, you
on
know,
Omegle.
no, I mean, you're 20 is not really young compared to like, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I made some serious life decisions at age 20.
Like what?
Like the decision to get sober.
When you were 20?
Uh-huh.
So you've been sober since 20 years old?
No, I haven't been sober, but I've been in recovery since I've been 19.
Oh, yeah, you know, a huge mistake I wish I never did. I was so clueless. I actually did acid when I was 14. I was so stupid. You did that too?
Well, not when I was 14, but I did it when I was 18. That's what triggered me into AA.
Yeah,
I was like,
was
that was
crazy.
fucking weird. But you know what? It changed you, didn't it?
Absolutely. Hmm.
Right. So why? So do you regret it? Because you wouldn't be who you are right now.
Yeah, but then what if I could have been better? You know, like you have no way of knowing.
Well, that would assume that the universe has a plot out for you to have the worst life possible. Why would it do that to you? Because it'd be very easy for the universe to make sure that you would never get acid. That's pretty easy to avoid. I mean, unless you like were just adamant and just went way out of your way to get it.
I mean, I when I was younger, I was like 12. I really wanted to try everything. I'm like, I'm gonna try coke. I'm gonna try ketamine. I'll do it all.
Yeah.
I don't think that way anymore. But when I
Right.
had the chance to get it, of course, I immediately got that immediately.
Yeah.
And one time, I was trying to get it for my friend's birthday a couple years after, and my friends, they were behind me, and they sent me out to go get it from the guy's car. I'm like, why they send me? It's some guy and my other friend. Why'd they send me alone? Why don't have the guy do it? Whatever. But they sent me to go get it, and they were afar watching, and he took my money and drove away. It was so sad.
No. How much money did you give him?
It was just $80, but it was a
$80.
lot for
What were you buying?
acid.
$80 for acid?
For a few people. It was like eight tabs. I don't know how much it was.
Okay,
in each.
just so you know, they've obviously increased the price since Timothy Leary. Do you know who Timothy Leary is?
Mm-mm.
He was a professor who, some say he pretty much invented LSD. But he was a professor who, because LSD was completely legal up until the 60s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, they outlawed weed, they outlawed alcohol, they outlawed cocaine, all in the 1900s. They didn't give a shit about mushrooms or hallucinogenics. They could care less. Those were for the hippies. Until the 60s, when they started doing this revolution. Like, man, we're going to free the black people. Oh, yeah? Well, we're going to make acid illegal. Okay. It was like, not quite the response we expected, but go for it.
Yeah, and my other friend, he was trying to get it online. Like, he never ended up doing it, but there were a lot of options to get it online. I don't know how legit it was, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, just so you know, when I took acid in 1988, I believe it was, one time only, it cost $2 for a tab.
Dang.
Yeah, that's why it was so cool, because it was like, dude, it's like $2 and you're tripping for like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, this is the best thing ever. So I thought, but then you realize, shit, when is it ever going to end?
What? 2 weeks?
It seemed like it. I thought it was going on forever.
I think I would have killed myself.
I ended up, well, yes, that's what I said. I ended up in the hospital. And then I ended up, and that's what I said. You know, I'm done experimenting with drugs and alcohol. And that's what I mean. Like acid gave me a vision and cleared my mind enough to be like, I want to get sober, which is a weird thought for a 19-year-old to have.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about trying to stop weed, like, because ever since that, I haven't done anything but just weed and alcohol. right?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
I think. True. Unless you want to count like Adderall, like I think Adderall is a huge problem actually. I would never take Adderall again.
Yeah.
But
We used to call it cheap man's. We used to call it poor man's cocaine.
yeah, because it's a methamphetamine, like legitly.
Legitly, and it's super cheap.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I do think that quitting weed would be good for me, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Have you tried? Have you ever? What happens when you don't smoke weed for like a week?
Actually, I do feel better. Like I feel clear-headed. I feel,
Really?
yeah.
Okay. Well, you should give it a little bit of clarity, a breather.
Maybe I should,
I mean, the
but I
thing
probably
is that
won't.
yeah, you probably won't. But the thing is that you're 20, so it's like, it's not like you know, I mean, we're not talking for the rest of ever. We're talking maybe like for, like just a year. You know what I mean? Say, hey, what was 2021 like without weed? I would think it'd suck personally. I mean, I predict that it's going to suck. That's just my prediction. But if you really want confirmation, you should do it because maybe after the year you're like, fuck, I'm never smoking weed again. Or you're like, fuck that. That was a
I don't
bad
know.
idea. That was the worst year of my life. I mean, it started off bad. I mean, the first week, I lost my umbrella. And then it just went downhill from there. I mean, can you imagine what it's like living in Maryland without an umbrella? And no
Maryland is
weed?
not that. Oh no, disaster.
Disaster.
What was I gonna say? Oh, this is like controversial.
Oh.
Controversy?
Yeah,
I don't know
probably.
if I should mention it
Oh, what is
because
it?
it's
Pilot
kind.
Light. Wait,
It's
Dark
a thing.
Uncle's Dark. Do you know who Dark Uncle is? He's here.
I've seen him before. I don't know
Yeah,
who
so
he
he's
is
here
really.
now. So it might as well. He's always recording me when he's here. So might as well throw out the controversial shit.
Well, I don't want to bring it up, but there was the incident that happened not that long ago with
Which one?
Gloria. You
Oh,
know what I'm
right.
talking about? Yeah.
Oh, when with Gloria and Joy.
Not with Gloria and just Gloria.
Which one?
You know? The
You really have to tell me specifically because I got a couple in my head.
the indecency, the not knowing that she was being streamed,
Oh, she
and
knew she was
then
being streamed. That was false. She was on the stream. The camera was facing her, and she was using it to get dressed. And then she walked across without like getting dressed.
yeah, but wouldn't she not do that if she knew she was being streamed?
Well, I don't know. I mean, but she was literally. I mean, she had the thing. She needed something to brush her hair. She was sitting there, so I put the stream on her, and she was using it to do her makeup and brush her hair. So I
saw
walk
that.
away, right, and then I walk away, and then she's changing off camera, but then walked across to get her shirt or something. I had her bra. I wasn't there. I didn't see it, and then someone showed it to me, and so I didn't see any nudity at all. I mean, I saw
Okay.
maybe like a side boob. But that was about it. But it seems a little bit kind of crazy for you guys to be tripping out on an old lady. It's like, dude, you've never
I'm
been
not
to
tripping out about it.
Not
It's just
you.
because last time.
No, the rest of the people in the room. It's like it seems a little weird to be tripping out. It's like you've never been to a pool like where shit like that happens. I mean, it just happens. I mean, she was there, but she just didn't realize she was walking across. She probably forgot that the camera was on.
Yeah, because I didn't see the entire stream, but I mean, if I was her age, I didn't really know about the YouTube situation.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure you told her, like, oh, you can use this as a mirror. To me, that I wouldn't know being streamed.
Oh no,
With that.
she knows she's being streamed.
Okay.
See, I mean, we've been streaming her. We've been doing this the whole time. So she knows what
Yeah.
it is. She can see the comments coming through. She knows it's not a mirror. She does.
Okay.
Act like she's retarded. She knows the difference between a mirror.
Whoa.
What retarded means slow. You act like she's very
Okay.
slow. Look
All
it up.
right.
The definition for retarded is slow. You act like she's very slow. She's not slow. She figures it out.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess she just forgot in that moment then.
Look, I've left my mics on. I've had the camera. I do it to myself all the time.
Yeah. It's just because last time, and not last stream, but a few streams ago, when like closer to when that happened, I saw people in chat saying, like, asking about it, but then you were like, that never happened. You said it never happened.
Because I didn't see it happen. I never saw it until Ava showed it to me the other day. And then
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay, maybe it happened. Okay, well, and then
All
I recalled back. So I didn't actually see. I don't watch this shit.
Well,
I mean, I said if it happened, then it would have been struck down. And I scanned through it, and if it was there, it was a 5-hour stream. I didn't feel like scanning through the whole thing. I scanned through it, didn't see anything. I didn't even see her in it. So I thought you guys were just bullshitting with me, trying to make me waste all my time. This is not the first time I've been pranked, trust me. So I thought you guys were just saying shit. And then Ava showed me something. She said, for sure, like, I saw some. I don't know what she saw, but it was, but it was like, first of all, what I saw was like, okay, like we're talking about the selfie cam. We're not talking about the regular cam, the mirror cam, right? And it was way over by the door, and she's way over on the other side of the room. So she's like this big in the picture itself. So it's like she's not even this. It's not like she was in the frame. She was like literally just walking away from it, from what I saw. So to me, it was a non-issue. It's like okay.
Does she know that it happened? Or, I mean, I don't think you tell her. That would make a whole thing.
I mean, I could tell her. Do you want me to tell her? I just found out about
probably
it
not. It's probably
whatever I
better
did with Ava G. I did it like 2 days ago, or whenever I talked to Ava G. That's when I found out about it because I had not seen it, and I thought everyone was bullshitting me, including I thought Ava G was bullshitting me until she showed it to me.
Well, I remember the same night because after that stream ended, another stream happened, and Joy was talking, and she was like, "Did you see? I never thought that Gloria would be the one to be the first with the nudity on her channel."
Well,
like,
I think that people were saying it to her. See, people were talking. Weren't they talking about it, or did she see it?
No, I think she just brought it up, like because she never even reads the chat, right? Like she doesn't really read the chat.
No, but I tell her what's going on. I was like, oh, she's like, what's going on? I was like, oh, everyone's saying Gloria was nude on the stream, and so I was looking back, and I didn't see anything. I didn't have any time to do it, so yeah.
No, it looked like she just brought it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was. I just wanted to know if you were aware about it, because last time I saw
I just found out about it, and what I saw was very, very minimal, and honestly, nudity isn't something that bothers me. What bothers me is do you see what's the bigger issue? Is it the nudity, or is it the focus and the attention of negativity that everyone's putting on it? Like, in other words, she can just walk by it. There was like, okay, a side boob, whatever, da-da-da. Everybody is adults. No big deal. Nobody even says anything. It's like Gloria doesn't feel weird. But no, you guys have to do whole channels on it. There's a whole stream called Gloria in the Nude. It's like blah, 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 blah.
There's streams called Gloria in the Nude?
Gloria in the, right. Clickbait. Randy did a stream. It's literally Gloria is nude. And so they'll do anything to get clicks. And by the way, she got like 900 views on it. So it's just not worth it to exploit my mom like that. Because it's ridiculous. It was like a little accidental stream. It wasn't like full nudity. It's like you literally have to slow it down and clip it. You can ask Ava G. She wouldn't show me the whole thing because she was afraid to show it on her stream, even though it was on my stream without any issues.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it was the side boob situation, and then there was another part where she had no pants on.
Well, yeah, but she was putting on. I mean, that's not naked. She had no underwear.
No, she wasn't full naked.
No,
but she.
You can put.
I just don't think she knew.
Well, no, of course not, because she didn't realize that the camera was up there. But but I left it with her. I didn't know she was going to walk. She was supposed to be brushing her hair. I didn't tell her to change her clothes, so she changed her clothes. So, yeah, if you want me to make her feel bad and embarrass her, I will do that. But I don't think that's necessary. Right.
No.
So I mean, the issue is what? Is that you?
There's no issue. I wanted to know if you knew about it.
I know I just found out about it, but it's been talking about it for the last 2 weeks, and I just found out about it yesterday. But they posted it, and they've done all this obsession about about an 80-year-old, 1-year-old naked body. Now, or you could have just been adults and been like, oh, well, she was changed. She wasn't even naked. She was just changing her sweats onto something else way in the distance, can't see anything. Or you could just let it go. But no, you wanted to humiliate Gloria. You wanted to make her feel bad. You wanted, oh my God, and then you wanted to make me feel bad. But it's like, no, it didn't have to be this childish thing that you guys made it out to be. It's just a human body that, by the way, you didn't even see anything.
True. I think it's better that she doesn't know, because, like, what's even the point of her knowing now?
It doesn't matter. There wasn't A, any nudity. B, there was nothing bad happen. C, she wouldn't care. Just so you know, I stumble on naked photos of my mom and my dad all the freaking time, and it's embarrassing. They were great in the 70s.
How does that happen?
How does that happen? They're from the 60s and 70s. I used to walk on them, like they're party. You don't know what the 70s were like, do you?
No.
Right. You're in an era where they told you that sex didn't exist. Guess what? It was like Roman orgies in the 1970s. It was hard to walk into a room in my parents' house without people making out. And I was like 6 years old. It was just a different lifestyle. So nudity doesn't bother me as much as it bothers some people. Now, I understand it bothers some people. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. And they shouldn't have made it such a big deal about my mom, because that makes them perverted in a really weird sense. Like, people who are like obsessed with watching pedophile movies, like tracking down pedophiles, are perverted.
I agree. I agree with that.
It's like, what it is that they actually have a perversion for it. And there's something wrong with them. And the people that want to solve these murder mysteries, or these kids have been kidnapped or whatever, it's like there's something wrong with them. They're perverted. And there's tons of people like it because they make a lot of money on it. And there's lots of shows like that, but it doesn't make it right. And what they did to my mom was perverted. What Randy did by saying Gloria was nude, that would be embarrassing for my sister to read that, or anybody. They could have just let it go because it wasn't a violation. There was no strike. It was not. YouTube didn't think it was a big deal. Nobody thought it was a big deal. But you guys made it a big deal because you can't.
Even if it was like you did that on purpose, even if it was such a huge deal like that, it would still be wrong to put it up again and talk about it more. Like,
that's what I'm trying to say.
That's that contradiction.
Right. See, at the time it was a 5-hour stream with Gloria brushing her hair with nobody on camera. Do you know how many people were in the room at the time?
No, how many?
40.
Yeah.
So 40 people saw it, but you know what they did? They rebroadcast it, including Ava G, and Randy, and Reddit, and everywhere else. They put her out there for thousands of people to see her nude.
Yeah, that's not cool.
That's on them. That's not on me. So when they say I did something wrong, no. What we did was an inadvertent accident. YouTube had no problem with it. It's like, okay, boom. 40 people saw it, leave it alone. But no, the haters had to make such a big deal about it. They wanted to humiliate my mother. And that's why they're wrong. They'll do anything for clicks. They'll do anything for money. If you watch them, all they ever criticize, all they talk about out of their mouth is sex and money. They're obsessed with it. Alyssa, they can't think about anything else. It's like, how much money do you make? How many views do you get? It's like, dude, money is not my obsession. I grew past that, man. I evolved past that. And I also evolved past grandma's titties.
Whoa.
Yeah,
me too.
Well, that wasn't me, man. That was you guys. That was you guys doing that shit. And I wasn't talking about my mom. My mom's not a grandma. Is she?
No, she did not. No.
So who was I? Yeah.
Okay, let's move on from that.
Well, you wanted to bring up the controversy, man. You wanted something hot, so,
I just wanted to know.
By the way, if you want to be a journalist and a writer, you got to lay out the reactions.
Right.
That's cool for social media, but your person you're interviewing isn't going to give you any more honest reactions if you keep responding like that to them.
What do you mean?
Whoa.
Like,
whoa. You do that, the person is not going to trust you anymore because you just judged me.
I said whoa to the words grandma's titties. It's a funny
and retarded
funny set of words.
Okay, maybe you're right.
Yeah, can't you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, okay, maybe I misread that one. See, it's not impossible. I misread shit all the time, and yeah, you're right. I did misread that one.
I'm really not trying to hate. You're not
hating at all, I don't think. A little bit.
Thank you.
I figure, most people most people are haters, myself included. You know what I mean? I'm like watching somebody that I admire, and I'm like, oh my God, like just today, like we were watching Miley Cyrus's Super Bowl party thing. Did you see that?
I haven't heard about Miley since the Wrecking Ball stuff.
That was like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Listen, I used to be like you too. I used to be. Look, I know you go through the phase when you like reject all mainstream fucking entertainment and stuff, blah blah blah, because it's all blah blah blah. So you don't know who Miley is.
No.
No, I was just like that. I did too. I was not into the like. I had no idea who Brit. I mean, I knew who Britney Spears was, but I didn't know a song. I just was like mainstream. Oh, if it's popular, I'm not interested.
That's not me. I'm not like that.
No, but you are unique, and I think that it would be like I said, like you identify yourself with music. We all do. So the last thing you would want to be doing is cookie cutting yourself into something really generic.
Or anything.
Because you're
the
very
same
unique.
Situation.
Yeah.
It's the same thing if you're totally against mainstream. It's another cookie cutter situation. You're just in the opposite. You don't fit into anything. You know, like everyone should have their own cookie cutter, is what I believe.
Ooh, I like that.
Thank you.
There's your title of your book. You should write that down. Do you have that written down?
Everyone should have their own cookie cutter. I don't know if that'd do super well.
Just write it down. Well, I have to write this down because you see what happens is you get a lot of new ideas. Oh, look what happened! I got this by accident. I was scratching my forehead, and then all of a sudden,
oh, you got it.
Yeah, but I didn't mean to. But now I can't do it. Of course, there.
There it goes. There's another one that has like fireworks. I'm pretty sure it's like.
Can I go? Are there double horns or anything?
No. Horns? Is it that? If anyone in the chat knows which one gets the fireworks, please let me know.
Fireworks. That's really crazy shit.
I think double thumbs up might do something.
Double thumbs up.
Yep.
Hey, you figured it out!
Oh my god, yeah. Nice.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Double thumbs down I think does something too. Try that one.
I don't know. Where do you find all this shit?
I just learned from being on FaceTime because it's in the iPhones. Oh yeah, the rain, the storm. Mhm. Did you see it?
I saw it go dark. I couldn't see it rain though. I'll look over here.
Yeah, it's a little storm.
Oh, people who hang out on Omegle know that shit.
No, it was not on Omegle. I'm gonna get a beverage downstairs. I'll be right back.
BB, what's up? What's up, my friend? Look, we got it working. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? We got it working. Well, I think collectively we have 103 viewers on all the streams. I know it's not a lot, but it does add up. We have 5 over here on TikTok. And I've got, how many do we have? This one doesn't have the viewer box. I need to add the viewer box here. Let me add the viewer box. Then you guys can see what we have in the other rooms.
I'm back. I have a Diet Coke. What do you think about Diet Coke?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So now Alyssa is back.
Yes.
Yay.
This is not Diddy's party, actually, you guys. It's not Diddy's party.
So is Diddy cool with Gen Z now, or what's the deal with that?
No, the opposite. I don't really even know that much. I'm just curious. Does
your Jen even give a shit really about that guy?
Yeah, because of the whole recent thing with him. Like, he got exposed. I think he got exposed for, I don't really know exactly what, but being weird with minors. I think.
I kind of got that sense, but I haven't really heard the whole. I mean, I've just heard all I know he's in jail for sex trafficking.
Oh yeah.
But you see, they usually use something like that when they can't get him on the other stuff.
Oh, like Michael Jackson.
Like Michael J. Yeah, right. They find something they can get him on. You know, they find some evidence they can like build a case on. But they know he was doing this other stuff that you were that like you're talking like that. I'll tell you what. Because of my mind is the shit with poor Justin Bieber.
What? Justin Bieber got exposed? What happened to?
No. Justin Bieber got exposed to Diddy. Like I watched a video with those two together.
Oh.
And that interaction when he was really young, when he was just coming up, he was like just hooked up with Usher and they're introducing people. Like just how, I mean, Justin Bieber's hanging out with P. Diddy. He's thinking, he wants to be, Bieber wants to be Bieber, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's this guy, and it's like you just see this weird power dynamic between them and just the way Diddy reacts to him and then what you know about his, like what he does, it just really makes you, I mean, I just feel bad for Justin sometimes, he's been through so much.
He's had a tricky life, Justin.
God, man, the reason why he's important is because, he came from YouTube, this same channel right here, like what we're doing. Isn't that weird?
Really? I thought he... Oh, wait, no. I think he did start on YouTube, yeah.
Yo, listen, it was so weird because I was going through my feed and I saw a video from Justin Bieber that was posted 16 years ago. The kid was posting on YouTube 16 years ago. And I played it, and it was him, just his guitar. He like living in a place like my budget suites. It was like a crappy little apartment. And it's just him on his thing, and he's just playing some cover song. With the guitar's way bigger than him, but he's just wailing on it, and he's nailing it. And you're like, holy shit, that's Justin Bieber. And he was doing it on YouTube, just like we do it. Just like I'll play a song. And boom, off he went. So, I mean, to me, YouTube and Justin Bieber are synonymous. It's like the power of YouTube and Justin Bieber. I mean, think about it. Without YouTube, there'd be no Justin Bieber. And without no Justin Bieber, where would we be? Huh?
Where would we be?
I know. It's like, no, listen, everyone needs a Messiah of their time, whether it's Justin Bieber or Jesus Christ. It's got to be someone.
Justin Bieber is today's Messiah, you think?
Well, they crucified him pretty good, didn't they?
I guess. I mean, he's still doing it.
He's I mean, he's a little more douchey than Jesus was, but, who knows? Jesus could have got a little cocky being son of God, I mean, think about it. Think about it. Okay, he's like, look, I am son of God, God damn it. And you're all putting me up here on the cross? Oh, yeah? Check this shit out. 3 days later, he shows up. He's like, fuck you all. I'm alive. I'm dancing on my own grave. You know what I mean? He's kind of in a way, he's kind of a prankster, right? He let them kill him so that he could rise from the dead and show everybody, like, fuck you, I am the king, son of God. I mean, it's kind of messed up, but...
No, I love pranks.
I love pranks, too. I love pranks that end up with something like that, where, it's like, okay, the haters are the best to prank, because they constantly rush to judgment. And I already know what they're thinking. It's like they're so predictable. So I'll say things like, I have 32 years of sobriety experience. And let them rush to judgment and have them like do blogs about how I lied and said I have 32 years of sobriety when they didn't read the whole sentence.
Oh, yeah, I remember you talking about that, I think.
Yeah, it was kind of a fun thing I did. I did something else the other day. Ava the G brought it up that where, like, and I don't do it intentionally. Just the way my mind works. Like, I do shit, and it's like I'm playing. Everything's a chess game, and I do shit. I move a piece here. It's like Michael Jordan. You're doing things, but you don't know why you did that until after you put it in the basket. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. But I don't know. It's hard to describe. Like being in the zone. You know what I mean?
Did you ever pull any really good real life pranks, like in-person pranks? No? Really?
No. Only on my dog.
What? What'd you prank to your dog?
They used to always go when I was like 6 years old. It would go running out to get the garbage man, and it would always go banging on the fence, and it would run out in the street. So one day, what I did was I put a bunch of water balloons, what I thought would but they didn't. they just land on its head. That was my last prank. So I balanced them perfectly. So when the dog would hit the thing, I thought the balloons would splash and get the dog wet. I thought it'd be funny.
Oh, man.
But it didn't happen. It just the balloons fell the other direction. I was like 6 years old. I mean, what do I know about pranks?
Okay.
So I was like, pranks kind of suck.
I don't know if a dog can really get pranked, because you can't really say, "Oh, I pranked you," you know?
Oh, yeah, you can. Okay, the haters are just like the dogs. Like, have you ever? Okay, like when I said, like, no, seriously, like you know how like I prank them with the like, oh, like they're like, your sister, what are you doing with all this the Social Security money your sister gets? My sister doesn't get Social Security money. Absolutely not. Oh my God, you're a liar. Like 2 weeks of like them. Nope, she doesn't get it. And then I go, oh yeah. Then finally Ava G asked me, well, what does your sister get Social Security? No, she doesn't. My mom does. And it goes to my mom's account. But that's a fact. Annette doesn't get Social Security. Gloria does. To support Annette, but it doesn't go to Annette. I mean, Gloria can just keep it and spend it on whatever she wants to, which is what she was doing.
Was it easy to let Gloria just like let you enjoy being in control of the money stuff, or was that really tricky to let that happen?
Well, it was by the time we stepped in, it had to be done. She had to. They were foreclosing on her house. They had turned off the electricity. They had turned off the cable. She had no money.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like she waited that long before she basically let us. So in a way, it was difficult because we had to wait to that length. Like the Porsche was gone, everything was gone, to dig us out of the hole. When she's finally like, here, okay, you go ahead and take. Like it was pretty obvious to her that she couldn't manage her own life and her finances because of her gambling addiction.
Yeah, because I can't imagine if I was addicted to gambling and everything, like, I would not let anyone touch my money.
Yeah, well, the thing was, it's like she had, that's when we went through everything. I mean, it's like, all the jewelry is gone, my grandmother's ring was gone. It was like, my grandmother had this gorgeous $20,000 ring. And it had a bunch of stones in it. They were like all size. But she took the stones out and sold the diamonds individually outside the ring.
What?
So all I saw was just the ring. I was like, what? Why would you do that? The ring was it's like, you probably got $200 for the diamonds each.
Yeah.
The ring itself set was like $20,000.
Oh, that's like not a good decision. Mm-mm.
No, that's the sort of thing that a gambler does. They just want quick money fast. But in her mind, she thought that I'm selling the diamond ring to pay for the mortgage, she wasn't paying the mortgage, but pay for lights or food. So she was thinking that she just didn't have enough money, not realizing that all her money was going to the casinos.
Mm.
Because what a gambler does is they only remember their wins and they always forget their losses.
True. Like any addiction, like you only remember the thing you like about it.
Yeah, you only think about the high, you forget about the misery. And so in the case of gambling, she was not actually remembering any, like that when I asked her on camera, she said she would spend $10 maybe every 2 weeks. First of all, there's no way to spend $10 in a casino gambling. Not if you have $20. You're going to spend $20. Yeah. It's like $10, you can't really do anything with it. So the fact that she would just say that, it was not only not true, but she either, I think she kind of almost believed it or just doesn't remember. It just blocked it out so much. And that's the thing about being a gambler.
Yeah, like my mom, she doesn't go to the casinos because like we're in Maryland, not really many casinos to go to. But she's crazy about the scratch-offs. And she'll buy so many scratch-offs. She'll even buy like the $20 scratch-offs. Insane amounts. Oh, she'll buy so many at a time, like 10 each time, but she's buying it all the time. And I'm asking her, like, how much do you think you spend on all these scratch-offs? And she's like, well, I always win. Like, it equals out because I always win and I'm getting more money. But that just can't be right. Because then how would the scratch-off people make any money then?
It never works out.
Yeah, it's really cognitive dissonance in that situation.
Cognitive dissonance. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, but my mom, when they first got here, they actually made money gambling. I think that's what got her hooked.
Yeah. Just like
Like
same situation with the scratch
right,
offs.
and also when my dad died, I kind of feel like that you know, that she went through a state of depression, and that she found solace in those casinos. That it kind of alleviated her from the sadness of John being gone.
Yeah, people will do anything to fill the void, whatever it is.
Right, and I don't think that she realized it. She would never admit it, but that's what she was doing. And then when the money ran out, which is like right now, the money ran out, and then we've been in recovery for the last year. But right now, she's starting to feel better doing things. Now I think she's starting to feel bad. I think she's starting to feel a little sad. Like, not just about the money, but also because Dad's gone. Because she got asked out on a date the other day.
Oh, yeah. What happened with that?
Oh, the guy blew her off.
Really?
Yeah, he called her and said, "Hey, God bless the Lord Jesus Christ, blah, 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 blah." He did some weird scripture thing at the beginning
That's not cool.
on a message. And then he said, "Hey, listen. Hey, I hope to see you around sometime. I think it was really fun meeting you. It was good seeing you. Okay, maybe we'll see you sometime." Like just called her to let her know that they should see each other sometime. And she acted like she didn't care. But honestly, she appeared to be very, very... Joy noticed that she's been bummed out ever since.
Yeah, that's sad.
So what Joy said was, she told me to go tell Gloria that we're going to give her $200 cash to go with her sister out to lunch and also go to the casino. If she wants to go gambling, do whatever she wants. That usually means go gambling. But that's what Joy said, because she realized that she saw... One thing Joy can recognize is depression. Her mother died of depression, right? Whether Brad pulled the trigger or she pulled the trigger is another question. But depression was around. So Joy knows depression. And when she saw how sad Gloria was, she immediately said, "Go tell Gloria to call her sister and tell her we're going to give her $200 and they can go out to lunch next weekend. Or whenever we get the money." And I said, "Okay, cool." And so,
Oh, that's sweet. I hope she gets to do that soon.
I don't know if she's going to do it or not. Gloria didn't seem like she was too psyched about it, but we'll see. I think she's a little bit bummed. I don't know.
That guy made a huge mistake.
Who made a huge mistake? I made tons of mistakes. Are you talking about one mistake?
The guy who blew her off.
Oh, yes and no. I don't think... I don't think Gloria needs, come on, think about getting to know another man right now. You have to worry about how you look, all this stuff, right? He's calling me out, and they have to worry about who he's dating. It's a lot of drama involved, and she likes her TV and she's happy.
Yeah, it's just a bit of excitement, little fun thing.
I thought so. I thought it was pretty fun.
It's so rare to have something like that when you get that old. When does that ever happen?
So wait, no. So where do you live? Do you live with your parents there, or is that your place?
No, it's not my place. It's my mom's house.
Okay, so you're with your mom, and she's okay with you streaming all night?
Yeah. I mean,
because my mom gets mad at me because I make too much noise in here.
Oh well. You know what's interesting?
Don't be embarrassed. We both live with our parents.
I mean, I'm in school. Have my job. I think I got it. I think I'll be okay. But my mom doesn't care. It's really funny because she also likes to sleep on the couch and watch TV because her room is the living room too.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting because
really
she loves that TV. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Gloria too. She's always, even if she came up, just so you know, people are saying, "Why are you having her sleep on the couch?" She left this place when my dad died. She left Annette here by herself for 2 months and stayed with me in Oregon and slept on my couch when she had a bed right here.
Oh, so when that happened, what'd she tell you about Annette during that? Like, did she say she was just fine, or what'd she say?
Exactly. Like, I didn't know that there was anything that could be done. I didn't know. I didn't know that there needed to be anything. I didn't know anything. I just was like Joyce said, like, we just thought that was her condition, and just kind of make sure she's safe. But it's like, now that, I mean, Joy, now with what we know, it just seems like absolutely ridiculous that you would leave Annette by herself for 2 months.
Yeah. Did she say anything about it, or like, did she just not mention it? Or like, did no one even think about leaving Annette alone that long?
She didn't even mention it. See, and because I just assumed that she knew what was best for Annette's care, that I thought that was like appropriate. I don't know. I mean, she's been with her. She's been caring for her the last 10, 15 years. So I thought that would be perfectly appropriate.
Oh, that must have been so difficult for her during that. For Annette, I mean.
Again, Annette's very independent, and I think that she was probably also going through her own set of depression when Dad died. So she had friends here at that time. She kind of even a boyfriend.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. So she was living with a guy during that time?
I don't know if it was a boy. It was a friend, is all we called him. His name was Bobby.
Did you say he also like had schizoaffective disorder or something? Like,
I don't know if he did or not, but maybe he did. Maybe he might have. That sounds about right. Joy might have said that. But
yeah, I forgot all about that.
But they were friends, and he was very sick. I don't know if he had schizoaffective disorder, but I know he was very sick. Like, he was dying.
Oh.
But Annette was like his best friend.
What happened to him?
He died.
Oh, he died.
And that's when Annette kind of started going downhill after that. We were here when that happened. That was in 2014. So when Bobby died, I think Annette got really sad, and I think that was probably part of what contributed to Annette's depression. You know, because first her dad dies, and then she connects with this guy Bobby who dies.
Wow, this is what kept me around for so long with the channel. Is just so interesting. This life is so interesting with all of you.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being around. I mean, thank you for hearing the story, because it is interesting. And for a long time, people say, "Why do you post all this stuff? And why didn't you do anything?" Because I was avoiding it. I was literally trying to like pretend like it wasn't, you know, like my sister wasn't sick, or that things were going on and everything would be just fine. But things would never be fine unless I did something.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't just keep blinders on and go through my life and just, you know, live in New York and mail checks home. I mean, that wouldn't have done any good. I had to do something different.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's definitely better since she got on medication. Was she on any medicine before you guys came around? Or
yeah,
no?
Well, she was supposed to be, but the thing was that Gloria was very, very bad at administering the medicine and also getting her to the doctor. You know, like you see Joy, how attentive Joy is. Joy is here 24/7. If she leaves for a couple hours, she's always making a next room. Whereas Gloria was always gone, just like Annette was always gone. Everybody was gone here. The place was totally empty. So I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, something definitely needed to change because it was not going to end well.
No, it was not going to. Well, no. Let me correct that. It had already ended. It was over when we got here. You know what I mean? Like, the house was in foreclosure. Annette was like months away from dying. She was so thin.
Mm-hmm.
So it was already done. We just stepped in instead of the bank, instead of the public auction, instead of the morgue. You know what I mean? And so we stepped in just in the nick of time, literally within a couple of weeks. So that's why Joyce says this was all fate and just the way it happened. Because we never would have ended up here if we had a place in Manhattan. This place was really hard to... Even when we were homeless, we left here. We went back to the street. We said, "Fuck it, well, let's go back to Twain. Not sleeping in this place. It's disgusting. It was better sleeping outside." You laugh.
You know,
that's what we did. That was a fact. That's what we left here and went back to the streets.
You guys have helped me a lot with my anxiety of just like whatever it means to fail or like I just have so much anxiety about my future and like money and the house and my future house and everything. And when you guys say like it's no big deal to be homeless, it's kind of fun to be homeless, it helps my anxiety.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Good. I think that's what she did for me. And it really the worst thing is if you're homeless, it's not that bad. It's like what it is that you know how you're worried about shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
You just said I'm worried about money. I mean, you're worried about school. You're worried about shit. Think about it if you didn't have any of those worries, like none of them. Like there's nothing to worry about. It's not the matter of whether you have a home or where you live or how many possessions you have. It's the freedom of the brain. Like all those shit that's occupying your brain, is gone when you're homeless. You're like, it's over. The best movie I ever saw, there's a cartoon movie called Strays. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's a new movie. Come on, if the kids are watching it now, you might be even too old for it. So
listen,
like that.
I'm so bad with the movies and shows. Like I watch the same shows over and over again, and I don't watch any new shows.
What's that?
My show I like to watch is Curb Your Enthusiasm. I watch over and over.
Okay, because you have your anxiety. That's why. That guy is nothing but a follower. I used to be the same way as in fact my cousins are dark skinned, so they thought I reminded them of Larry David. Because I was so
really?
uptight. Yeah, because I was so uptight always. They go, dude, you're like that guy in Larry David. You need to chill the fuck out. It was before I smoked weed.
You know, maybe you should. I feel like if you shaved and like cut your hair, you'd be really good Larry David for Halloween or something.
Yeah, I could do that. I don't know if I'll cut my hair, but I could do something with it. I could do like a bald.
You could do like the bald cap. Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. Or I was thinking Rick Sanchez. Get like a white overcoat, a blue shirt. You know, like spike my hair. Did you hear about
Justin Roiland?
The guy who did it. What did he do?
Justin Roiland is one of the creators of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
And he recently got exposed.
Oh no!
For talking with minor. Yeah, he's canceled because he was having inappropriate conversations with minors.
Oh, geez.
Multiple times.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, geez.
Oh, geez.
And it was really very sad for me because when I was in middle school, I was crazy about Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty, I was actually obsessed with it. You know how people have like hyperfixations, like Rick and Morty was my hyperfixation. It's embarrassing for me now.
And now it's
very embarrassing.
They smashed it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what the sad truth is? Is that a lot of your most creative people are going to be slightly different. They're going to be like doing drugs. Like back in the day, your creatives did a lot of drugs. They were the, countercultural stuff. And sex goes along a lot with that drug stuff.
I don't know if it's that they have those qualities inherently or if the fame brings it out more or if the fame changes them to feel like they're able to be like that.
I would argue that, like, for example, Brad Pitt's not ugly, right? So before he was famous...
I never thought he was attractive.
Okay, well, whatever. Look at his old movies. You probably would have thought... If you met him in person, you'd probably be like... You'd be a little... Not starstruck, I'm saying before he was famous. You would just naturally say he was, like, as a kid... Like, in other words, he was most famous people are sexually attractive from the time they were very young. Because they're on TV, right? Like they get hired because they're attractive. I mean, that's what you want to watch. You don't want to watch unattractive people. So, to your point, is that when they became famous is not when they discovered, like, they have this power. They've had that power ever since they were beautiful.
Justin Roiland, though, is not beautiful. He's
not.
Though.
He's probably very funny.
Yeah, I thought he was funny.
Okay, that's another example. Okay, he probably is more of a situation where he sits because he's not very attractive and he's a writer. He didn't get to meet a lot of girls, so he stayed at home and just thought about it a lot. But then when he got famous, then like you said, he had the access to the girls. And then the road he chose. Well, how old is he?
I think he might be like 35 or something like that.
Well, how old was he when he did this supposed alleged incident?
This was when like Rick and Morty was just starting to be popular, like around like season 2 of Rick and Morty.
So you're saying he was closer to a teenager's age than he is closer to a 40-year-old age when this happened?
No, definitely not closer to teenager.
What, was he 25?
No, maybe I can just look at it real quick to find out.
Because if you said he's 35 now, in season 2, we're on season 7 now.
Yeah, but I don't know. Let me find out.
If he's under 25 and he's talking to a 17-year-old, I mean that's different than if he's over 30 talking to a 17-year-old. Can you dig with that?
He was 36.
Oh shit. Okay. No good.
In 2016, he was 36, and that's when it happened.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. One thing. Okay. What happened to me one time, and this is something that happened. It doesn't occur to you, but because like I had a friend, and she had a daughter, and it was when I was in New York, and she started. Her mom gave her my Yahoo Messenger. This is back when Yahoo Messenger was real big. Gave her my Messenger ID, and she started messaging me. And it's like I literally had to cut it off. I just like, I mean, I didn't even. It was like at first it was like, oh hi, okay, da da da. But then it was just like turning into sort of like a weird sort of thing, and it was like, okay, and it was a very very strange thing. So in that situation, like Justin took the other road. You know what I'm saying? Like if he went down a road where he was end up like, because it happens, you end up talking. I don't know how he met these girls. It sounds like this wasn't like a friend of a friend. It sounded like it was more like people he had interest in.
Yeah, it was people who were fans of the show mostly.
Yeah, fans of the show, and he was talking to them. What do you mean by inappropriate? Like he was like trying to hook up with them?
He was like making, saying like.
That's not what I said. Hold on, Tori. That's not what I said. Tori, don't put words in my mouth. I said if a guy is under 25 years old, under 25. Do you know the difference between under 25 and I said 25 being max? Under 25, so like 22, 20, 19, 18, and he's hanging out and he's talking to a 17-year-old, it's very different than if a guy is 36 years old talking to a 17-year-old. So, Tori, I really appreciate it if you don't put words in my mouth because I got enough of that shit going on. So either pay attention to the words I say or just stop repeating lies that come out of your mouth.
Okay, now more people are saying I'm 16, I'm in high school. I'm not.
They can say whatever they want. What they can't stand is that you and I are having a conversation and they're left out of it. I think that was really rude. Tori, that was rude what you did. You lied. I did not say that. I did not say it was cool for a 25-year-old to be talking to a 17-year-old. I never would say that. I said if a guy is under 25, like 22, 20 years old, talking to a 17-year-old, and we're talking about talking. We're not talking about having sex. We're talking about talking. It's very different than a 36-year-old talking to a 17-year-old. Because what would a 36-year-old and a 17-year-old talk about? But a 22-year-old and a 17, they could have gone to high school together.
I mean, what would we talk about, you know?
Well, we talk about all shit. Once you get over a certain age, it becomes different.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
It does. And that's why they have the limit. That's why you're over 18. It's like, okay, it makes sense. You're talking about other shit. But at 17, first of all, there are literally songs out there that say that they're pedophile songs by John Lennon. Right. You know the song I'm talking about, right?
I've heard about it. Yeah.
You've heard about it?
Yeah, I mean,
it's one of the most popular songs. The first lines of the lyrics are, "She was just 17." And you know what I mean.
Yeah.
When I saw her standing there. Now what the fuck is that? Now that's the Beatles. That's John Lennon saying that shit. That you guys all think is all perfectly fine. And you can't say it's a different time. We're humans. It's not like we evolved. Suddenly like, oh wait, what do I mean we evolved? No. They said exactly that.
People
So
hate that song.
right, and that what's that?
People are not cool with that song.
Oh,
I've
maybe
heard.
not today, but trust me, for about 50 years, it was a very popular song. They had no problem with it. Your parents, their parents, the adults, everyone who set the laws and the rules today were so cool with that song.
Mm-hmm. When I was 16, and I had a boyfriend who was 19.
Yeah.
And all my friends were like, "That's so crazy and weird," and I kind of agree. I kind of don't. It depends. Yeah. But listen, I have to go. But I really would like to do a full professional interview where I have some prepared professional, where I have some prepared questions.
Yeah, we can hang out again. I think so.
Okay, when do you think? Can we schedule it?
No, I don't do schedules. No. Dude, you're making it sound like a job now.
Because I mean, I have my job. I have to just do it when I'm not working.
What is your job?
I just work at a coffee shop. It's just a regular little coffee shop.
Did you know I used to own a coffee shop?
No.
Yeah, I had a big espresso machine, and baristas, the whole deal. That's where I enjoys building. That Joy used to go there and buy coffee from my coffee girls.
Coffee girls.
That's what she called them.
Cute.
I want to see the coffee girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we can't schedule it, then how can I?
Tomorrow, probably. It'll probably be tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay.
Email me. Do you have my email?
What's your email?
It's healthyfamilyforce@gmail.com.
Okay.
And you can email me, and then we can kind of figure out a good time. I think it was interesting because otherwise, see, you ask me questions, it's easier than me trying to feel like they don't ask questions and they don't like bring up arguments. All they do is make endless accusations, most of which are false. And so that's not really an interview. And so it's good that you take their accusations and you rephrase them into a question that allows me to talk about it. And that's what you do.
Yeah.
I think that's why they were saying you're a good journalist. But I think that makes you a good writer.
Ooh, well, just you wait until I have some prepared questions.
Oh, geez, I'm scared now. Okay, so email me. I will check it probably tonight or tomorrow. And we kind of go from there.
I'll email you tomorrow after 1 o'clock for me. What time is it for you right now?
Man, I'm Vegas time, so it is 8 o'clock. But I'll be around and I'll also be on stream, and I check my messages and I check my emails. So I'll be here.
Okay, so then I'll probably email you around around 9 o'clock in the morning for you.
Okay, cool. Oh, just a real quick comment, but just can you believe the comment that like someone is like saying that Joy's mom killed herself because of Joy? Can you believe that?
I did not see that comment.
No, they're spamming it right now. It's like someone is using Joy's mom's name. That this is the type of hate that Joy gets. She's using Joy's mom's name and saying that I am Joy's mom, and I killed myself because Joy is such a terrible person. I mean, can you imagine what kind of person would go to the effort of saying that to somebody who lost their mother? And can you imagine like Elsie Win a Black Dress and Moon Zen and Jim Jones, all these people backing up Laura's ghost? I mean, do you realize like how awful of people you are? I don't care if you like my wife or not, but you're backing up a person who's literally making fun of somebody whose mother committed suicide or was killed. And you're cheering them on to bully a woman whose mom killed herself. And that's the reason why she's not in the airport. That's the reason why she's doing the jobs you can't stand. All this stuff that's happening. And now you're supporting that person, Elsie Win a Black Dress, Moon Zen. I mean, where are the women? I mean help me out here. Alyssa, am I crazy here to think that women should not be doing that to other women, especially about like a mom? I mean, you guys are so protective of Gloria. Why would you do that to why would you slander Laura's name like that? I mean, that's Joy. That's a real person. Laura is Joy's mother. And the haters in here: Jim Jones, Moon Zen, LC Win a Black Dress, Kathy Fields.
That's disturbing.
All of you guys seem to be okay with that. See, that's why we know you're not good people. Because Joy would never do that. Joy would never go into someone's room and tell someone whose parents killed themselves, say, "Oh, they killed themselves because you're a terrible person." Even if it was true, Joy wouldn't go do that. But these people do that. And it's not true. Joy's mother most likely got murdered, secondly, and she would never kill herself because of Joy. Joy's mother loved Joy.
Yeah, that's incredibly disturbing. And
right.
Just
so
stupid too.
I know. And Moon Zen and Kathy Fields and the other haters in here are moms. They raised children by themselves, of course. Their husband left them. I mean, I know your parents broke up too, but listen, you can't. But I'm not down on divorced parents. I'm not judging you guys. What I'm saying is that you keep throwing stones at me like I'm so terrible. But shit, what did we do so bad? We didn't have kids out of wedlock. We didn't have kids when we weren't ready to. And we've stuck together through thick and thin over the last 12 years. How is that such a bad marriage? Why does that make people hate us so much? I don't know.
People will say like the most deranged things to get you upset if they want to hurt you. But saying stuff like that, like with Joy's mom, that
cool.
really reflects on them. Like you're not looking any better than the people you're trying to hate when you say stuff like that.
Right, and all the haters, that's them. I mean, they don't realize it, but that's your group. That's who you're. When it comes down to it, and God has to draw the line, like, hey, which side are you on? Are you on the Jedi side and Jesus, or are you on Randy's side and Satan and all the haters? It's going to be very obvious. It's going to be very obvious who's which and which. When Moon Zen comes in and sits there and says, yeah, Rich is a homosexual, and he dated a guy for 3 years, and he got a bartending job, and he didn't want to do it because he's so lazy. It just makes up all this shit. It's going to be very, very obvious to God and everybody else where Moon Zen belongs. Okay, good night. I know you got to go. Get to work.
Okay.
We'll see you next time.
I will email you, yes.
Bye-bye.
Tomorrow. Okay. All right,
you.
very fun.
Good night.
Good night.